have you communicated with a social media user who goes by the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY?
I've had several phone calls with the person who goes by the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I don't actually know his real name.
Tina, is there any way you can get in touch with Tug?
Help! I've been tossed overboard.
I'll have to bill you extra for my time.
And unfortunately, every time I make a call, it becomes content for an idiot.
Welcome to the show. You look incredible, like a dessert that owns a yacht.
That's exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, sweet but slightly out of your tax bracket.
Mission accomplished. How does one even shop for a suit when...
Gold on my neck, gold on my hand, purple with the stripes, that's the walk of a man. Sidewalk shining, city lights humming, every step I take, they know a boss is.
Blazing the whip, gotta vanquish the needs. My kingdom for some poppy seeds. Yo, yo.
Is that a poppy seed? You realize I'm your P.O., right? Straight to booking!
Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay!
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
Name on signs, now you don't wanna speak. 14 racks just to shift that blame. Bought an expert just to say my name. 14 bands, that's some expensive PR. Got channel success, yeah, I sell the best. Got Preston and compressed. Promise the barn, promise the bitch. Ain't good, Lord. Have you seen that fence? 14 grand for an expert witness. Pick one course, keep saying I ain't handling business. Says that's my writing. Man, that's cute. Spent $14,000. I still got the proof. Best look like shredded cheese nailed on the sticks. Garbage bag top just flapping in the wind. Garbage man quit, took up piracy. Captain Hefty selling the SS Swiss cheese. And what's up with those ED signs, John? Where's the barn? Don't know. Where's the stain? Don't know. Seriously, where's the barn though? Where'd it go? 56 grand. Poof. Now you see it, now you don't. That's one heck of a magic show. Straight out of creek. Put my name on signs, now you don't wanna speak. 14 racks just to shift that blame. Bought an expert just to say my name. 14 bands, that's some expensive PR. Got channel success, got receipts in the street. Captain Hefty selling on the SS Swiss cheese. Promised the barn, still ain't on the bench, but they got an expert in a shredded cheese fence. Straight out of creek. Matey!
Straight out of Otter Creek. What's up, folks? Man, I love that freaking little Jeremy dance.
He is amazing. I was like,
Straight out of Otter Creek. Man, I was like, that is a banger of a song, too. That came out so good.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah. And a shredded cheese fence. Oh, I love it. Oh, what's up? She's a Wiznut, by the way, is joining us for, well, if Megan is going to be gone, and hey, apparently it has worked out for some amazing stuff.
Every single time she goes out of town, told her she better hurry up back, all these people are going to just take her place, just because I stream with Tug doesn't make me a stalker.
Well, what's funny is she's coming back for a day, so she'll be back tomorrow. You know what she has, by the way? It's pretty. It's a little thing called what's that word? Oh yeah, getting arrested.
Body cam footage. Oh,
you know what's beautiful about that? I heard tell that in part of that. Now I haven't. I don't want to see it yet. I want to see it all as it comes up. But I heard there's a part in there where he's admitting to the old, yeah, fun times with that, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, what didn't she say that he went and turned himself in there? That's what I was led to believe, that he just showed up there and said, "Oh, I've done bad. I'm turning myself in." That's what was the story was told.
Well, I think there will be a lot of fun time surprises in that, and I'm sure there's going to be some crazy madness. Just like I think there's going to be some madness after today. My Lord, that bankruptcy hearing, woo, baby,
so glorious. I mean, there was a lot of people that were there looking at it, and everyone behaved. That's the beauty of it.
Yep. It was really good too. People. First of all, I do have to commend folks that did show up. You were under your best behavior, and that is awesome. That's one reason I don't ever. If you look at the docket and you see whether people are going to be there or not, are allowed to be there or not, that's your prerogative. I always wonder, is there going to be a paint chips in the audience,
Oh, is there going to be paint chips recording the damn thing and posting it up there online?
Pooping on it. I don't know. Oh, by the way, folks, if you'd like to send a positive message to Megan Fox and be like, yeah, look, when Shizzy or other people come on, well, look, they get the channel support. Then send Yo breadsticks and be like, hey, Megan, what's up? But yeah, that hearing, I thought it was pretty interesting. It told us a couple of things that we were told that were lies, right?
Yeah. Oh, I already knew about this.
Yeah. So it gets even better this afternoon too. So today we found out that there are talks about a settlement. Huh. That's pretty big time. What that means is, first of all, what that would mean is that Lynette Preston is consigned to losing her property.
Yeah.
And I do not see Jeremy taking a piece of it. Here would be the thing. When they were saying, John Cook would retain some ownership or anything, he's not going to take a piece of it and just have John Cook with a piece that's still there. I'm sure it's got to be an all or nothing,
Yeah. I mean, I can't see any reason that John would want to stay there. I mean, by just a piece of it, then he still has Lynette there on this little section of property that is just minuscule.
John gets the septic tank.
Well, that's the reason why they would have to have inspectors out there, and that was brought up in there. You have to have inspectors out there to actually look at the property, review it, make sure that it's even got any sort of value to it. And if they've trashed as much as it looks from aerial views, I can't
Yeah.
think they're going to be getting much for that.
Well, it it does make you wonder about condition of everything. But then you have 2L start popping off at the mouth. Actually post about, I know everything. I know everything. And actually Jeremy, blah, 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 which we'll show in a minute. We'll show what's sit there. Jeremy goes on a live and he's like, you know what? You forget this. You know, no more settlement. So he seemed a little flustered about that because again, these people, it's supposed to be some kind of private negotiation that's transpiring here. And
Doesn't look like it. Looks like she was reaching out to Saran Wrap and he was telling what these negotiations were.
Yep. And on top of that too, there you go too. At least they'll each get a toilet when they leave. I'm wondering, are we talking property or are we talking everything? See, you'd be talking about assets too, I'm sure. And I'm curious, like what exactly is included? Are we just talking about property, including, you know, sheds and barn dough and whatever? Or are we talking about whatever knickknacks and sundries and all the garbage that's sitting out there in sheds?
Well, and that's the thing. You know, you got the flea out there saying, well, Jeremy's the one that made this offer. There's nothing
That doesn't
there
even
that shows
work.
that. Yeah,
Well, that's not how bankruptcy works. So you're a creditor, you know?
Right.
As a creditor, these people are trying to get you to go away. That's the whole point in a bankruptcy. So to say
Yes.
that he just out of the blue starts offering money on the problem, what does that even mean?
No, that's the strangest thing I've ever heard. Like
They would see him as the one creditor. See, the bankruptcy lawyers would want to get paid.
Yes.
And out of that, they would probably, you know, again, I mean, this is a lot of guesstimation. Don't know. A lot of speculation. But you would have them want to approach him because he is the person that is most likely to pay for this stuff. I mean, otherwise, they're going to be eating a whole lot of nothing. And these freaking bankruptcy lawyers, they get I mean, we are talking about 1/4, or rather 40%. I said 1/4.
Well,
No,
and
that's
that's
only
what
25%. But
well, and that's the thing with Forstoffel is he's the one that's doing all of this, looking into it.
Yeah.
Like that's why whenever they're saying, well, Jeremy made the offer, it looks to me like Forstoffel, the trustee for the bankruptcy, is the one that seems to be looking at, you know, what they can do to get this taken care of and bringing it up to both parties.
Well, on top of that,
it may, you know, I mean, with Flea saying what she was saying,
yeah,
she may have just tanked that whole thing.
Well, Jeremy did not seem very pleased with the idea that she's been middlemaning in. They also had a conversation yesterday or Sunday rather, that it seemed rather interesting about lawyers. Here's Paint Chips and 2L talking about this. Okay, she says, Rich, let me ask you something. If there was, in fact, a lawyer who was going to, you know, play me or whatever, and they're trying to go after me like silently or whatever, would this lawyer talk to me? Yes, first of all, yes. The lawyer, the answer to that is absolutely. If you're paying the lawyer and they belong to Michelle Preston, they don't represent you. They don't. So she said, send me any kind of bill for something and me pay them. So she's admitting, by the way, now that she's paying for Saran Wrap. So that's interesting. Remember the barn dough money and all that other money, how it couldn't be spent on things like, I don't know, a permit, so you didn't lose all the land. By the way, Michelle, I think I would shelf that away in my memory. You know, they could have popped off a a few $100, but they wouldn't pay for that. They wouldn't pay for you to get out of a 10 by 15 and actually, I don't know, pick up that domicile you wanted for $5,000. But they'll pay for a lawyer, huh? It makes you wonder, why would they do that? Oh, well, because their interests are being protected.
Yes. And I mean, she came in with immediately, no, that's not what it means. Somebody else's lawyer, Michelle's lawyer. And of course, later on in that same stream right there, she came out and said the bankruptcy attorney for Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
now she comes out today and says, bankruptcy lawyer who I just spoke to is not loyal to me, but loyal to his client.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about, Paint Chips is saying, well, if they took money, because she's like, if he was in fact coming after me and he very recently sent me a bill and I paid it and he accepted my money, wouldn't that be a little fucked up? And he's like, oh, you got a conflict of interest. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't at all. He has one party that he actually supports. One party, or supposed to. You can only serve that one party.
Yes, you're bound by an oath to actually serve that party. Now, the thing is for example, if you had an attorney and I paid them, $1 million to represent you, okay, that attorney is still responsible to you. They owe me absolutely nothing. They can say thank you for the money. And if I ask anything about the case, they have every ability to say they can tell you, but I can't tell you a damn thing. Even if I pay them every penny that I absolutely have, they still could not do it. They're bound under their oath of ethics that they're not allowed to do that.
Well, this came up in that when Amber Heard had insurance companies, she had them that were supporting the bill, and they said that they wanted a specific lawyer to come in, and she said no. So the courts were looking at that, and the argument which they stood with, which made a lot of sense, was that you can't essentially serve two masters. You have to serve the interests of the client. And the question was, if the insurance company, they picked out the lawyer and you didn't, then how could they potentially not, how could they be serving you when, again, they're getting paid by these people at X, Y, and it can happen. Again, someone can pay. There's not a problem there. But the problem is in all these weird statements that we're seeing. It's so strange. So then she comes out today and says, let me pull this up too, because if you didn't know, like if we haven't made this clear enough, there was a hearing today, bankruptcy wise. We found out quite a bit, and these people went from saying there are no settlements, absolutely, Jeremy's a liar, there's no way, they'd fight tooth and nail, to them saying, oh, yeah, we've known about settlements all the time. So they've just been lying to everybody, huh? That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're doing that a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They do that all the time, lying to people. But this lie, so this is what they had to say publicly. And we'll talk about what was in the hearing, too. I just want to throw this out here. So this is Germ, the creative fabricator of lies. The bankruptcy lawyer who I just spoke to.
Ooh.
Huh. Why? What? So you're having conferences with the bankruptcy lawyer and he's cueing you in on everything that's going on? That's pretty fucked. They brought another party into all of this, and she just keeps bragging about it like right out in the open. I'm paying them therefore. Yeah, Michelle. Again, who's your bankruptcy lawyer? Whose interests is he serving? When I see somebody bragging about stuff like this, it makes me wonder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's not a good look right there.
No,
that is a very bad look.
Yeah, when I saw that, I thought, my God, Michelle, even if you're authorizing all this, which I hope to God that's authorized, I'm not saying it's not, but if you're authorizing those discussions, thinking that you have to because these people are paying. See, there's only one reason that they would pay anyway. It ain't out of the kindness of their fucking hearts. It's though they can keep themselves out of the bankruptcy crosshairs.
Yeah, that's not going to be good. That's going to be really bad luck on Saran wrap. They may have just tanked Saran wrap.
Might just have for real tanked. At best case scenario, they may have tanked the whole freaking deal.
Yeah. Yeah. If Jeremy says nope, it doesn't matter what you say or do now. Now the kind of behavior, because what if they've already threatened that they're going to, let's see, burn down the barn, burn down the fence, rip the fence out. They'll destroy anything that they possibly can. I mean, and not just them, but them in their chat.
Yeah,
there's
it came
no
out
way
of their
Jeremy
chat.
will get
Like,
any of it. Jeremy will never get any of it.
well, they threw a fit the other day because Mr. Coop brought up the screenshots. You know, I guess they forgot. They missed where I brought them up. But they really got worked up about Mr. Coop breaking them up there, where their chat was talking about burning down the barn.
Yeah.
And oh wow. So they've been privy to everything going on, and they're working people up to the point where they're talking about burning the place down. Oh, that sounds great.
Well, that's not a good thing, because Lisa's already claimed that she holds everything that is written in her chat. She owns. So that means that she owns every single thing that was written in her chat.
Exactly. And you are, if you own those words, you are liable for them. Yep. I've been saying that. That's exactly it. Man.
YouTube says the same thing. In a sense, if so for example, there's why we have banned words in our chat. If people start typing out those words, they'll usually not show up. But if somebody is doing that, we're actually liable for those things being stayed in there, and they can demonetize you. They can remove your chat for that.
Yeah, I went in just to make sure that stuff does not pop up. I put in banned words. So I went through. It's really crazy to have to go through just to make sure that their censors work. To go through every racist freaking word you can think of. Now, you may have missed some, you know, I mean, you are human, but it's crazy to have to go through and to think of any iteration of like the N word, for example. Like, oh my God, you know, I don't like typing this stuff.
It used to be a way that people would do it where they would just type out one letter at a time. And I had to remove that. As soon as that first one comes up, they get automatically just an automatic boom.
Yep.
It's just like, nope, I don't. I mean, the amount of banned words I have in there is more than the amount of people that I have removed from my channel.
That's me. So she says, on top of that, as I stated, Jeremy's lying to all of you. And again, the trustee and a council did not offer Jeremy any property. Really? Offer. See, there's such deception in the word offer, too. That's not a giveaway term. You know, of course, it's not a giveaway. What it would be is, are you interested in the assets these people have? Now, he would still have certain things that he's entitled to. I'm not going to go over entitlements in this discussion because
that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, and on top of it, if they don't understand that, then I do not want to cue them in on it. You know?
Exactly.
They can figure that out themselves. But it's no longer a secret. So here it goes. Oh, wait.
No longer a secret? What does she mean, no longer a secret? It was supposed to be some sort of secret?
Yeah, apparently it was supposed to be some kind of a hidden discussion point where they're trying to work something out. And well,
let's just tank it for him. Let's tank this offer. Okay.
Well, you know what this also says. See, if he is interested in this crap in any way, shape, or form, it ain't in the property. It's in getting these weirdos that have threatened his life repeatedly and pieces of shit that are around him, like this piece of trash and all the fucking felons around them, getting them out of your life.
Yeah. You know, that seems like that would be a much bigger offer to me, to get these people out of my life where I can continue doing my business and I don't have to worry about them, constantly harassing, people that are my supporters.
I would take that, to be honest. At a certain point, I'd say there's a very fine line between me being like, yeah, you know what, I can look at this stuff, and there's a breaking even point where it's worth it to me, and blackmail. Because I still think that if you have to buy the assholes across the street out that you had a protective order against, one of them pops pew pew on you and other people and has done all of this, I think that's just another form of blackmail.
So they just, it looks like they just tanked it with this.
Well,
it looks like they just absolutely screwed up anything that could have, any meaningful conversation that they could have been having with, Saran Wrap was in there today, and he was very adamant that there was discussions that were happening and that they were planning on continuing those discussions. The judge was asking if they needed a mediator to help out to sort of get this thing done and take care of it out of the way. Forstoffel was there, and he's saying, we've still got all of these things that need to be done. There's got to be inspections, and she's being difficult with that. I mean, it's just like, and they come out and they start saying this. How do you think this makes that bankruptcy trustee look at it now? He's just like, oh, great. Now you're going to tank this deal.
Yep.
Where we could get this bankruptcy out of the court system and moved on the way. But that seems to be their reason for doing it. Because as soon as that bankruptcy's over, the hammer comes down in 3 different cases.
Well, they talked about, like you said, the inspector. They said, the parties have agreed to an inspection of the property. This is, it's close again. We spoke before this to see if we could, that again, I think between a couple of people that you kind of get your notes exactly right. Again, we talk live and we get all this worked out on what it is, but we try to get as close as we can on it. But the parties have agreed to an inspection of the property, which I believe will take place in the next week or 10 days. We also have, they were talking about deposition and everything with it. But when the court asks them about proceeding, because it's what exactly is going on, they're telling them, well, Your Honor, we need to complete the inspection. We have to inspect the property. On top of it, we have to complete the deposition of the debtor. We have a lot going on. So yeah, I mean, there is definitely inspection going on that has been told to us. But also, again, settlement, that word, when it starts popping up in that, it was amazing here.
It was a major talking point in that. I mean, they already conceded the acreage issue because they've gotten the boundaries already sent over. Saran Wrap already sent all that stuff over, and it's just there has to be, they have to go on the property to do the inspection.
Well, they used another word that went around with that. They used the word substantive, in describing the settlements. Now, that word means of real importance, of value, a solid basis, rather than just some, some
Arbitrary
beginning.
number.
Yeah. They said that there are substantive settlement talks occurring. And when they talked about that, they were asked, now, this stuff is fragile. And from the discussion you get to, there are actual real discussions going on, but we were told by the lawyers for Jeremy that they're not to a point where they can say they can have any mediation talks or anything like that.
Yeah. It hasn't even got that far in the discussion.
Well, Jeremy has enough money to make it worth his while if he wants them off. But he also has enough money on the other side of that to be like, fuck this. I don't want it at all anymore. You know what? I can make it work. And I can make it work. I've made it work for years with these people across the street. I can still make it work.
Yeah. And good job, Lisa.
Yeah.
Up in negotiations, but hey, you expect them to screw things up.
What a dumb thing. She was like, the germ who wants the property but does not want the property, that cause a discussion, she's trashy. Yeah. Why exactly would you want that fucking property? Oh, to get them out of there. That's it. Is the one who offered to purchase the property, not the other way around. He offered with a price, which is a joke. The price is a joke too. They said that they were having real talks about it. So you're saying that the numbers that are thrown around, you're actually saying that they're not doing this in good faith? Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that sounds like. It sounds like they're fucking wasting his time, and that's how I would take this.
Yeah.
That's right, folks. John put an offer with conditions in weeks ago to purchase the property, and a meeting regarding settlement is being discussed or held to discuss exactly that. There are more details regarding money, condition, etc., but I'll not discuss them. So she's saying that even though it is not public what the details are for any talks here, that she's heard them. She knows because she's fucking talking to the lawyer there who doesn't represent her in any way and just tanked your shit, Lynette.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. I'd have told you to fuck yourself with all this. Like if it were me, I mean, again, I'm not speaking for Hales, but my blood pressure would have gone up because I would have been pissed, and I'd been like, fuck you, fuck your bad faith discussions.
Yeah, because it would be like me looking at this and going, okay, let's have some meaningful discussions. And then you've got some other third party that comes walking in and says, hey, you're not getting a good enough deal. This isn't right. And let me tell you, this is how it's going to have to be. I could work out this deal for you. So it's like, oh my God. If I had a car that I was selling and somebody and I were talking, discussing money, some other person comes walking up and starts putting their 2 cents in, it'd be like, what's this? Like I don't want to deal with you. I'm going to send you on your way. No, deal's over. Deal's over at this point in time. Like I don't have that much time to sit here and nitpick over all this crap and tanking all of the settlement discussions. No, that's how I would see this. I'm surprised if Jeremy just doesn't say, Randy, done. Just no.
I'd be like, nope, none of that. I was looking it out. I had an article recommended to me. This is totally off topic, but I thought it was funny. So, Andrew Tate and his brother, where they were arrested, their lawyers have come out today and we're talking about their lifestyle. And of course, I figure if you can't notice this by yourself, oh man, you've been deceived. But they're like, you know what? All of that, about their super yacht and their Bugattis and all that. Yeah, they're all props. Yeah. They're all rentals.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, anybody, but there's some people out there, the way they were making millions is by buying classes to tell, how to be a man from these people. So essentially you were paying classes from people that were just renting props.
Well, isn't that what happened with what was that? The bearded guy's name that did the same thing was on Tim Pool's.
Oh, dude, I can't think of his freaking name. The one,
Jack Murphy.
Jack Murphy, that's it. Yeah,
Oh my
because I've got a little
God.
Jack Murphy avatar, with a little beard. I've got one of those.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I think everybody does.
I think everybody does too. Oh my God, that guy was, he was trying to sell this manosphere thing, and people were just like buying into it. It was what was it?
Oh, here's Germany there. Look at that. All settlement conversations are completely ceased and will not be reopened due to fat, toothless, husbandless Fleabag. There you go. Like straight up. Yes. I mean, this right here, this statement here, when I caught what Jeremy was saying about everything.
Yeah.
I thought I 100% agree, man. Because what it tells you is that not just Lynette and Preston. I expect this from Lynette Preston. I expect it from John Cook. But Ram Saran, let's just say his real name, Ram Saran, from this statement here, it's saying he's been operating in bad faith.
Yeah. Yeah. That there was never an honest deal on the table.
No.
Ever.
And they're all sitting around, okay. Well, that says that you can't approach these people in good faith at all.
Nope. Never. Damn, Jeremy. I mean, I'm with you because
you know what? This is Jeremy yet again proving, that these folks, he has approached them in good faith, trying to find some kind of resolution to get these assholes away from his life. And they have turned around and spit in his fucking face.
Good job, Lynette. Good job, Saran Wrap. Good job, Lisa. Look, you guys really know how to tank a deal.
Right. There's only one person that would want that shitty. Let me rephrase this. There's only one person that would give you something for it to get you out of their lives. Now, what I wonder even is, this may sound a little crazy, but is this person doing this intentionally? Are they going to try to swoop in and nickel and dime this? Are they trying to fuck the bankruptcy court in this?
Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they've been, and I said this almost a year and a half ago to date. Everything about, especially whenever they started putting up that fence, I was like, this looks to me like a move that they are trying to push Lynette off her property, take over her property, own it so they can be close to Jeremy because, they got to have some of that rapper.
Yep. Straight out of Otter Creek. Heck yeah.
She so much wants to be sitting right next to Jeremy whenever he's online doing his auctions. She wants to be right there. I mean, she's what, started up her own little whatnot. She's, selling stuff off, trying to boost that thing up. I really think she's got a thing for Jeremy. Jeremy, you better watch out. I think you got another stalker.
You know what I saw today that I thought was hilarious, by the way. The wonderful, by the way, if any of you folks missed Sunday's live stream, you missed a good one over on What the Hell's. It was hilarious, But
that set them off too.
Oh my God. So the website, though, I hate Megan Fox doing yoga.com, is actually functional. It's got Megan Fox on there. It's got welcome to the Fox Den with it, but it's got her toss the top doing yoga. Oh my God, that just made me laugh. I was like, that's hilarious. That was a really fun night. If you don't understand it, like what we're saying with that, then you've missed something fun and you need to check it out. That out of any night. I mean, his live streams are fun anyway, but man, all of us together were just, it was off the chain.
Oh my God. I was crying after that because I was laughing so hard just at all of the silliness.
Everybody was on. I mean, it wasn't just one person. I was like, damn, I was like, man, I'm on, and I mean, everybody else was on too. It was nobody was, dead weight on that show. It was amazing.
Oh my gosh. Dee was killing me. She was absolutely killing me.
What was funny is like Ketchup was kind of a straight man in it, and yet still was birded above. I thought that was funny too. Oh Lord. I mean, everybody was good. God, Jay was on fire that night too.
Yes, he was. He's always on fire. That's why I carry a fire extinguisher whenever I'm around him. By the way, Jay, thanks for the membership again.
Oh, it's so funny. I was like, man, but yeah, if you guys missed that was good. So let's see. So look at this though. There are more details regarding money, condition, etc., but I won't discuss them. Better believe that Jerem will fabricate it for content for the next few weeks or until a settlement is agreed upon.
Well, we just saw what Jeremy said.
Yeah.
He said settlement discussions are closed because of her.
Yep. I mean, again, if she wants to run her mouth and stuff, make her put Lynette's money where her mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think it's amazing that this moron here, there's another part of this too, but I think it's amazing that this moron may have just butted in and again, just shot this down. And there was another part of this statement that really made me wonder, well, what they're saying here. Like the judge knowing about it. This has zero to do with me or throwing me under the bus. It's not my bankruptcy. We were talking about you paying the lawyer, which is funny because, again, you lied publicly to the people that really were paying for the lawyer. I mean, let's be honest about this. Any money that was gathered wasn't Lisa's money. It was money gathered from people out there. And they were told that it could only be utilized for a very narrow purpose. And that purpose was not fucking around in litigation. In fact, the bankruptcy was built on a foundation of lies to begin with. So the initial payments for bankruptcy, that $6,000 to handle everything, that was initially a lie that many people were pissed off about because they thought they were helping pay for lawyers that would go in and defend.
No, the only thing that they were doing is they were hiring one lawyer to come in and put everything on stay, which doesn't stop any of the other cases. I mean, it stays them, but they don't go magically go poof.
Yeah. Yep.
So they did absolutely the worst thing they could possibly do, and now she's under scrutiny, looking to lose absolutely everything.
Oh, it's going to be funny to watch people try to salvage what is absolutely going on here. Because like I said, I would be so mad. I understand. I mean, I totally agree with the way he's handling this. Because again, I would not be thrilled about that in any way. I mean, again, them mocking me publicly when they're already trying to blackmail me.
Mm-hmm. And saying that they don't want the deal. That's what it sounds to me, that they don't want this deal to happen at all.
Yeah, they're saying it's in bad faith.
Yeah.
Lord.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. I am proud of them.
More shadiness, lies, fabrication, and their echo chamber. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I called old Lisa out and said, hey, you keep saying that you can depose Jeremy in this bankruptcy case. And everybody said, no, that's not what she said. I was like, the only way that they can verify any of that is they would have to depose him.
Yep.
That is the general outcome of that. You can't just go and, I'm requesting this right here. You're going to have to depose them on this.
Well, that's funny when they say all this stupid crap. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get Jeremy. We're going to depose him." It's like, you gotta be freaking. Are you really that stupid?
The offer's there. The offer's there for it.
Yeah.
Now they'll come back and they'll say, "I never said I was going to depose him. I was going to subpoena all of his documents." I was like, "Yeah,
yeah, that's not what they said." So,
well, they're also trying to change it up and say, well, that the subpoena was asking for all of this stuff. It's like, no, her response was saying that that's what they were asking for. That's not what Randy's request on that was. Very specific and very, very to the point.
yeah,
They just missed it.
they were like, "Well, he wants all these communications, just month of it for random." No, it was specifically about this one thing. So.
Yes.
Oh my.
We'll just see how the judge ends up ruling on that. That'll be a separate piece altogether. That's
Well,
if anybody thought that they were going to be discussing the flea in this hearing, they were sadly mistaken. That wasn't the point of this hearing.
I just like the fact that at the end of the day, these people, John Cook and them, they don't want to take their chances going at the court, going head to head with Jeremy. They wanted a way to slink off to the side, which is interesting anyway, Lynette, because you said that 100% you had the absolute truth behind you and all this, and the signs were lies and everything else. Well, you don't seem to believe that you got everything in your corner.
Well, they've already admitted to the signs that they made in Ohio hearing.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hard one to back out of. The flea has made it a point saying that Michelle wrote those signs. I mean, the way that they back themselves into a corner over and over again, you would think they'd start running out of corners.
Yeah, for real. For real. What a bunch of idiots said. I am proud of them, like I said, though. It is very difficult to be this stupid. It is. I mean, it's amazing to me.
Well, I mean, the trustee did remind the court that they had joined the exemption objection on that property. Like that was not something that was even up for debate. That was, they're just like, yeah, we're joined in on this because it doesn't. And the problem is they haven't even completed discovery on it because of Lynette delaying shit. And the judge is just like, all right, well, it looks like, you guys need to work this out or you are going to be here in Gainesville.
And that's what I loved about it.
And Randy, oh my God, whenever Randy brought that up, he was just like, we've already had this discussion. And the problem is she won't do this. She won't do the deposition if I'm the one asking the questions. And he goes, that's up to my client, whether that happens or not. Jeremy has already said, no, you're my attorney. You're the one asking these questions.
Well, he is absolutely allowed his choice of attorney. Like, it's insane to say that he would be denied his choice of attorney.
Well, it's going to be, it looks like it'll end up being in Gainesville.
Yeah.
And the judge will be proceeding over that right there. And, oh man, that one there is going to be.
Randy seemed very almost happy with that idea. It was funny because he was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's on, baby."
Because Randy behaves in the depositions. It's Lynette that doesn't behave.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it. Well, it was funny at first. With the discussion of it, that they were talking about her behavior and everything. And I thought, well, that's, let's see where this goes. Let's see exactly how everything works out. And then I thought they were going to argue something differently, but then they started discussing about how they have had discussions, Yes,
Right.
and that's the smart thing to do, by the way. It's not smart to tell the judge that you can't get the fuck along. Like in this, judges want you to get along.
Well, and Saran Wrap almost messed up and said something he wasn't supposed to say to the judge.
Right.
And he luckily he recovered really quickly. He said, "Oh, I'm not saying that Randy's doing this in bad faith. There's just some what did he say, animosity or some,
And I have to look at. Yeah. It was like they have a past, is what it was essentially. He was
Right.
trying to say.
And he was just like, it's not being done in bad faith, and we're trying to work out the details here. And because he was trying to say, Randy's been absolutely horrible to her, and it's just like, Randy isn't going to let her get away with hornswoggling. He knows the little tricks that she plays. It's the same way with the agreement. The difference between the agreement and a promise. If you're speaking two different languages, you have to find what that person actually means. Because if she says, well, I promise you that I'm going to do X, Y, or Z, and then says, well, I never agreed to that. And you said, you just agreed that you were going to do X, Y, or Z. No, I made a promise I was going to. Okay.
When I looked at the depot there, I was like, are we reading two different things? The way he described it, the way that he described that versus what I read, I was like, I don't think that's the same thing.
So wild. The amount of insanity watching these people try to spin every step of the way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you realize I don't have any stake in this.
No. I mean, ultimately, that's the thing we try to remind. I'm very entertained by this. I believe that no matter what happens, that there is no way that this isn't very juicy and succulent story all the way through freaking December, all the way through the year. There's no way. Plus, we got all these other trials that are going on top of it. And to be honest, if Lynette has been a source of entertainment. All right.
Yes,
but she's not a main player anymore.
No.
These people have they've replaced her, and they did it intentionally. They wanted to be they wanted to be king shit. So
I mean, they've thrown Gabe in there. They've thrown Squat Dump in there. They've thrown every single person. They've thrown Leslie in there. They've thrown Volman in there. They've thrown Paint Chips in there. They have thrown every single person that they possibly can throw in there. And then the funniest part is whenever you get Stupid Dave on there, this guy that can't break 2,000 subs, trying to tell everybody, oh, I know how this turns out, how these channels are supposed to do things. I'm like, really? Tell me, old stupid. I mean, wise one, because I'm really all ears because I see how you've completely destroyed your channel.
Well, that would assume that he's ever had any success to begin with, in its own way. He could have had some. He's had a couple of chances at it, but
yeah, he has.
And I love people like him that they claim whatever, for whatever reason. Well, it went this way because it's like, no, it went that way because you're an unlikable piece of shit. Because you betray people, you screw them over, and it shows.
Well, yeah, I still wonder what old Dodgy Robbie holds on the flea to keep her.
I know it this way. Like I said, I know quite a few rather large channels, and they know a lot of rather large channels. And one of the things that we all are in agreement with is, that there's certain things that you do or don't do as far as going after people. And again, they've been totally okay with it. If they wanted to have an argument with Jeremy Hales over speech fundamentals, okay. But unfortunately, that argument that they say that they are having is not the argument that was presented. The argument was presented was going after sponsors, going after the platforms themselves that people are on, spreading just nasty shit.
Double down on me, coordinating their people to go and strike channels. I mean, this is the behavior that they've been doing. You know, it's just like, you know, you realize there's just certain things that you don't do. I mean, they're even trying to go after people that don't even know who the hell these people are.
People that were supposed to be friendly too, like Olap, for example. I mean, these were people that when they were talking about folks crying victim and threatening to strike channels and stuff, oh, they were happy to sit on there and make fun of folks back when. But then when the same thing is presented to them in another context where they're the one you're discussing, suddenly they're using the same talking points that the people they made fun of.
No, I mean, it's not just Olap. They're actually attempting to come after Volstorm. They're attempting to come after Valhalla Waits. You know, it's this whole Machada thing where she's calling you a stalker. I mean, this is the kind of behavior where you're just like, who in the hell are you?
Right.
You think, what are you?
Oh yeah, that's been its own stupid. I thought it would be funny to. That's been really funny. I was like, well, you know, because I mentioned that the other day. I mentioned that on Twitter. I was like, you know, who is this clown? You're calling me a stalker. What the fuck's up with that? And they were like, oh, I got you mixed up with somebody. Sorry. I'm like, well, yeah, I'd take that. I'd buy into that, except for the fact that there's at least a half dozen other times you've done the same thing, but I didn't comment on it, you know, because typically you just have to catch me in the right mood. Otherwise, I just don't care. I don't know, but you catch me in the right mood, I say something. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's this clown car philosophy. All these people share a clown car philosophy. They love to scream about free speech and all these other things. But when it comes to somebody actually talking about them, they pile in the same clown car and they roll us all to the big top. It's fun time.
Well, I would compare it more to, you know, a bunch of never mind, I won't say that. That would be a paint chips thing to say.
Let me read your mind. Does it involve syphilis? No, wait. Oh, my. I did find it funny. I mentioned this yesterday. You know, I mean, we got a lot. God, there's so much that's going on, dude. It is so unreal.
I still haven't even gotten into all of the fleas, you know, response to the deposition.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that really. I haven't gotten to the Ranger. So I figured I'd be busy all week, you know, I figured this weekend I'd catch all of that up. I haven't gotten to Vomit thinks we're dating, I guess. Did you catch that? That was really interesting.
Well, you and him are dating?
Now, apparently he wants to date me or something. I don't know. He keeps talking about, he's like, Tug, really? He clicked that. Look. He's writing articles about this. Look, he's going over this. Yeah, this is really funny. I don't know if you can see this. This might be a bad screenshot. But if it doesn't show up. Yeah, look, you can see the numbers here. So he's like, oh, look, he loved my article so much. He opened 3 times. It's like, yeah, you sent me 15 emails. I clicked 15 emails and 24 times total. So I didn't even click them twice. Some of them, whatever the last thing is that lands, first of all, I click on them to see what they are. You know, each one of course, you know, this guy again, he gets women arrested and all kinds of stuff. I want to see what kind of clown shit he's up to this time. But when it comes in, a lot of times I will click on to go to Substack. I'll just click on whatever came through the last time. And of course it opens that up and he's so excited that somebody will click his email that he wrote an article about me clicking his email.
Sounds like Tug's got himself a little love triangle happening here. I mean,
Tug, will you be my boyfriend? I'm like, no.
I mean,
but you answer my emails. We're dating. No. You gave me $3 randos.
Doesn't that mean something to you?
Oh, Lord. I tell you. You tried to give me a sponsorship in Joseph A. Banks.
Do you think he's just maybe a little salty because, Paint Chips left him for the gay bare knuckler?
Dude, he showed pictures of his hands the other day, by the way. Whoo, baby, I'd show them on here, but my Lord. Yuck. Yeah, I was just like, wow, you can keep that. That's pretty awful. I mean, I did more for him than ever Paint Chips did. Like I said, I don't know if you missed this, but I did for his birthday this is Joseph A. Banks. This is their actual site. I did try to hook him up. I did tell Joseph A. Banks, I was like, quick question. I know a guy that'd be perfect for you to sponsor. He lives in your store, in fact. Hit him up for God's sake and read his Substack. It's like, P.S. if you give him a sponsored suit, can you leave the price tags on? Ask him for a friend. He wants you to read his Substack. So I see why he wants to love me a long time, but still, man,
Well, I mean, I think I might try to work on 5 Hour Energy and get them to sponsor old Gaby Poo.
Hell, man, the way it works, I'm not under any kind of test. Maybe I should get them to sponsor me. I'm like, wow,
I reached out to him because, the flea keeps admitting, just openly saying that it was entirely nothing but him, just doing 5 Hour Energy drinks. And there's all these tests to prove it. And I mean, and then you got the, what is it? The boot liquor. Yeah, isn't it? Doesn't she lick boots or something like that? Or I can't remember.
Yeah, something weird. I know there's dog masks and, dildos involved.
Yes. Yeah, there is some sort of deal going on there. But yeah, she jumps in there and starts, just repeating that same garbage over and over again. It's just like, you people really, I'm going to have to reach out to 5 Hour Energy and just let them know, because it looks like you're pushing them to get a sponsorship, Want your husband to stay in jail just a little while longer. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, they're apparently going back after Bill again.
Oh yeah, I saw that. What's really telling in the talking about him being the creeper. The problem is where they've named somebody that the word creeper no longer is just some random artifact out there that you call people. It has a specific connotation. So where this loser has been calling other people creepers. Oh, you're saying that it has that specific connotation. Okay. Not very smart.
Well, and if I read the court documents correct on that, his probation is over and he's free to go wherever the hell he wants to. Well, if I read the court documents correctly.
I haven't looked into it at all.
Oh, I did a little bit of looking into it. And it looks like there's some stuff about to come down on them pretty hard.
Well, I mean, we'll say, like I said, I don't know anything. I haven't really done.
That's why I think they're doing their attacks now. That's why I think they're doing their attacks now, because there might be more people having issues with their behavior besides Jeremy.
Well, that would actually be good. I do feel like, though, if anything comes up, that I'll be surprised in that jurisdiction. To be honest, I feel like Sumter County is so fucking useless that if anything happens, I'd be stunned.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw, it's not just that. There's some pretty crazy stuff happening. And
well, I'm curious to see what happens with it. But yeah, so on the hearing today,
Oh yeah,
there was so much. We're all over the place because so much going on. I mean, you can't keep up with it.
yeah. I mean, it's like all these side quests that you don't
Yeah.
expect. You're just like,
Well,
oh,
we knew there was going to be a hearing. It's funny. So today, I didn't think I'd be able to tune in, but luckily, I was able to watch. I had my doctor appointment today. So the funny thing about that was, though, the original hearing was scheduled for the 18th. So I took my doctor appointment, which was going to be on the 18th, and I moved it to the next Tuesday, to the 25th. And then the hearing got moved to the 25th. I was like, son of a bitch.
well, and if I'm not mistaken, you also thought that you were going to have to be going into Nash Vegas and didn't have to go that far,
Yeah,
which made
I ended up in the Murph, which I was very thrilled by. I told Shizzy because we talked about coming on, and I was like, yeah, the only thing I don't know, like if I'll be able to get back in time because if I go out all the way to the Nash Vegas, I may be getting in late or God knows. But I ended up instead being in the old Murph and got back with plenty of time, and I got to to catch this stuff as well, which is fun. Now I took quite a few notes because there's still the argument over the property. They still have to determine the idea of homestead. And that's in dispute unless again they get a settlement before everything rolls in. Because they're
But that's
talking
the
about
problem. They just tanked that settlement. So now it's going to go back to the homestead stuff. And oh my gosh, that's the reason why they initially had it scheduled for the 15th of September. I'm looking at my notes here. The 15th of September.
Mhm.
And it's not that, and that was going to be the final evidentiary hearing on that. But
Yeah, we haven't
because
even gotten near it yet.
But because they hadn't got the homestead, they haven't got the deposition done. They're just going to have now it's a status conference is what it's going to end up being. It's like all they've been doing is just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting because again, with the deposition, you still got a lot of unanswered questions. You have quite a bit on it, and there's the question that really comes up in this is whether or not there's a livable structure. They actually have something that could qualify as an actual homestead on the property. Like that, to me, see, this is the rub. And Lynette, like I said, I know you listen to all of our stuff, so listen to this very carefully. Everything, settlement, losing things, all of that, all of this didn't have to happen. All 2L had to do is to come off a few $100 and keep everything moving. Have some kind of work going on at the property before your permits ran out. That's all you needed. And she wouldn't do that. But again, she will pay for this lawyer who she's bragging about knowing everything. She's in the know. I mean,
well, and I think it's become very clear by her behavior the reason why she didn't want that to move forward. Because Lynette is like, listen, I need to have a licensed contractor come out and do this work. And I've seen from Gabe's behavior that, and Fleece has been a big part of this business that they've been running where they go and they do this work on people's property, because even in one of the filings, she was very much in on the conversations, the one that's a civil felony, that one right there. Yeah. For the grand theft, for him doing all of this work that he never actually did. And that is what it sounds to me like, that he was trying to do some legitimate work, but he's not certified, and he can't get certified because, well, those felonies usually don't, you can't have a felony be certified because they're not going to allow you to do that stuff.
Well, the
But
way
I
they were,
think that's what their plan was. I could be absolutely wrong on this, but in my opinion, their plan was to have Gabe come in with a couple of people, frame the thing out, and collect all that cash.
yeah, well, she definitely had her people. She talked about that. Her guy, her people. So they weren't planning on allowing Preston any choice in that matter. They were going to go with people that they wanted involved. I mean, they made that pretty damn clear, publicly. So, and that I would have a problem with that. Just to be honest, I would want someone that, as far as the project's concerned, first of all, I would want somebody that, well, they made sure that everything was correct. Everything was above board. We didn't get shut down and have to tear my fucking barn down later on.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't have to worry about black mold growing in it. Wouldn't have to worry about snakes getting in there. Wouldn't have to worry about the wiring, the electrical, the drywall, any of that stuff. Whenever it's done, it's done. They had a fund. They had a funder that was going to do all that. Only Me was just like, show me some work being done. But you screwed that up too.
Yep. Well, they only have one person to blame for all that stuff. I mean, when you get down to it. But again, and she should ask the question again, if these people are, they told them that they couldn't pay for anything else, that money is for nothing else, but they will spend it for this one thing. Who does that one thing benefit? Does it benefit Lynette Preston, or does it benefit them?
Oh, it benefits them every single time.
Well, and that's what Lynette, I mean, she, ultimately, unfortunately, with Lynette, she better be looking at clawing her money, because she will, if there's money left at all, it won't be there for long if there's anything there. So if she could, the bankruptcy court, you're talking about a federal jurisdiction. If anybody could get her money back, or at least, order it looked into, and you really dig down into that, that's the court that could actually do that.
Yeah. And I'm surprised that Randy hasn't made any sort of motion to bring all of that in, bring all of that fundraising in. That's what just sort of surprises me, because all that money that she was raising that was going to go to benefit Michelle, the offers that she's made to Michelle saying, well, there's at least 18,000 there. Why isn't it on any of the schedules?
Right.
I mean, anything that I'm a little frustrated with Randy with that, why he hasn't got that stuff in there, because I'm just like, well, why isn't any of this stuff being mentioned in there? Why doesn't Saran Wrap have any of that mentioned in there? I'm
wondering. Well, I think we know why. First of all, Saran Wrap doesn't. I wonder if part of that is, as we move forward, we're stuck still on the homestead stuff. We're still stuck there. Like, we haven't moved forward with anything else. I don't think we've been able to branch out into even looking at Lisa Lee and fundage or anything else. I mean,
it's been 9 months.
Yeah, and we're basically, and that's what they wanted. They wanted everything to come to a crawl, to come to a stop. I mean, if honestly, we would have had certain things that wouldn't have been decided until next year, right? We would have had like the lips mess. We won't have resolution on an actual case with that until into next year. But as far as the Preston Cook mess, we would have actually had something happening in a court. But they hit pause on everything, and then they did this diversion where you end up in the bankruptcy. And like I said, we've been stuck here 9 months, long enough to bake a human cake, as it were. We could deliver a baby in that. I mean, come on.
But still nothing's been done with that property.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I've done enough job sites that whenever I see what they've done and what they haven't done, it's like, it's so bad. I mean,
I think what they did is so fraudulent. And I like to, I'm going to pull up, I want to give somebody some love here. I want to pull up I watched So You Don't Have To. Did you see her breakdown of everything?
Oh yes, and she was
breakdown was fun.
And
It was a good breakdown. Oh, by the way, I do want to mention this too. So Dolly Parton passed today. As a Tennessean, that is a huge deal in this area, especially. It's a huge deal anywhere, but it's especially huge in Tennessee because she's done so much positive work in Tennessee. She's so when we saw the announcement, she was supposed to go out to Dollywood and announce a new ride, and she put out something that stated that her doctors said, no, don't travel, but she was okay and everything. And then just 2 days later or so, a couple of days later, we have this happening, and I don't know. That's just it's a sad thing to hear because, like I said, she's done a lot of really positive stuff. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that made me think about that when I was looking at I watched So You Don't Have To's stuff here. I'm pulling it up. She had a post about that. Yeah, and like I said, it's been such a crazy day that, oh Lord, as we're getting, I feel like I'm getting older. I'm seeing all these names that they lorded over my youth that are passing on.
Yeah,
like man, but names that were bigger than life, like Dolly Parton. It's one of those names that's been around forever. I used to go out to Dollywood back in the day. We had Opry meals before turning everything into a fucking. Oh, I hate Opry meals. Before turning it into a mall, we actually had an interesting theme park with Opry Land.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. I used to go down there every now and then when I was a kid. Now I would have liked to have taken my kids there, but anyway. So here's her breakdown, and we'll add stuff to it too. If you saw it, you can see where the additions go in as well. So 21-day countdown and the settlement that wasn't supposed to happen, according to Lynette. That's right. The one that the settlement that never supposedly was, right?
Yeah, I'll never settle. I'll never settle.
She was like, I never worked with him. Settlement is working with somebody, by the way. That's absolutely. This is actually, let's pull up her quote on that too before we continue on that.
Oh yeah.
Let's pull up her actual quote where she threw a fit about that. So she said, anyone who believes his garbage is out of this world, I'd rather jump off a bridge than help that man breathe. If I saw him in need, I'd pray for him and walk in the other direction. Prayer is all he will get from me without a fight. Oh, without a fight. So settlement is not a fight, by the way. Just to say.
No.
So that would say you're working together.
Yeah. A settlement is both sides are making a concession to come to an agreement.
Yep. It's and again, I would say that the way that 2L is framing this, it sounds more like trying to play somebody in blackmail. And again, Jeremy, all I'm hearing from that, no matter how they frame it, is that if they were having all these substantive discussions, that would mean they were in good faith, right? So they take good faith discussions from one party and threw it out the window. Huh.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Good job.
So it does on this, by the way, if you did watch this, you'll notice there were a lot of cases. That's the way this typically goes. You have quite a few. You have to wait your turn, but it did take a hot minute to get around to her actual hearing. It was there were a few more cases than I actually was expecting.
Yeah. Well, and I mean the one that was really surprising to me is how quickly they did move through some of those cases. I mean, one of them took longer than all the rest, but there was one, it was just like, so where are we at with this? Well, we agree here, and okay. And we'll do X, Y, or Z with it. I mean, they just moved really fast through them. I was like, wow, there was these two that they just jumped, and then there was one that it just seemed to drag on forever. I think I went and I think I walked away from the computer for a little bit.
The one thing I disagree with that judge on, by the way, when she was talking about the examples, that had come up in the transcript, in the depot, she said that she didn't see page numbers on it. And he noted, yeah, there are. And I looked it up. Yes, there are page numbers.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I actually had the document pulled up whenever they were going over that. I was just like, what does she mean? There's no page numbers. It shows page numbers. And
it was clearly marked, and she stated, even though I'm looking at these and I don't see page numbers. I was like,
I think what she was looking for. And she made this clear whenever she said, hey, I want this narrowed down to a 5-page pleading. So that way I don't have to go through every single thing. You give me the page number, the paragraph, and this should take no more than five pages. And then there was another one off the top of my head. I had to look back at my notes. It was 3 pages that she wanted to have it on.
Well, they had a discussion at the beginning. They had a motion where they were talking about a motion to dismiss, and for the motion to dismiss it was a Lynette's motion to dismiss. It was granted without prejudice, where they could go in and file, so that would have been, you have the expectation on, certain filings that's obviously going to come back. Now, there were a lot of questions about the document. So I'll have to pull that document up and show people what exactly that document was that was discussed. Because there's so many documents that get filed in this. I mean, really, ultimately.
Well,
go ahead.
From what I was seeing on there, I think it was the last filing that Saran Wrap, I don't think they're going to accept it. Anything over 50 pages, the federal rules of bankruptcy requires that you mail that in. So they won't accept it as a filing.
Well, it was interesting because, the judge, it was just the way that the judge, that threw me for a loop. First of all, her claiming no page numbers or anything, no matter what. It was just the way that she noted that, because I was using the main filing, it's like a table of contents or a record, and you could go back, and I had to skip the page numbers when I was reading that off, and for her to say that, I can't think again. we've got the document. Well, we ourselves go through it, and again, I get it. Judges have a lot going on in the day, but still, here's that document. Actually, I've got it. I think there it is. I've still got it pulled up. So where she was saying there were no page numbers, it was like,
there's page numbers.
Yeah, it's right here. Look, so it says it's the exhibit list. It's made very clear. And the page numbers are noted, like what exactly the page is, what exactly has happened with it. So, I mean, it was laid out. It was pretty concise.
But does Saran Wraps have it? Maybe that's what she's talking about with Saran Wrap.
Well, she didn't. She was talking about their filing. She wasn't talking about his filing, though. I mean, maybe I don't know. Let me.
That may, just
maybe she. No, well, no. I would have to say no on that, because remember, she said that there were filings that had been done in the last week. She hadn't even looked at the new filings. If you remember her language on it, she makes it pretty clear she hadn't looked. So you had a.
I mean, I felt like she was talking to Randy, but
yeah, she was talking about Randy's filing for sure. you know,
This
but
is why it's so confusing to me
yeah,
because I mean, I had the same document up and I was like, I mean, the page numbers are right there. What is she talking about?
which again, all of these would have been moot points anyway. The only thing out of it that really started to matter was a discussion over a potential settlement. That was the only thing that mattered until it looks like somebody may have made it not matter.
Good job.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
So, I
job.
mean, through that, you know, they were talking about, and in fact, so you're actually going to have that refiled. So there will be a refiling on that. But there was also a discussion about about whether or not deposition would occur. But the courts, see, Saran Wrap knows that you're going to have to, especially if you want any kind of settlement or anything else, you're going to have to play ball, and you're going to have to. It's also her damn bankruptcy. So,
Yeah.
you know, you can't argue that you can't depose me. You know, I mean, that's garbage. So anyway, while they're talking about it at first, it looks like they're going to have an argument that's going back and forth. But suddenly you find out, like Brandy brings up the fact that, hey, we have indeed been talking about this. You know, we're having a discussion. There's a tentative date. So they actually, did they say the date? I don't remember. Let me see.
For what? I'm sorry. I was looking at this document.
Oh,
The date.
good. I'm trying to remember. Did they say the date that they had potentially been discussing as far as the new depot is concerned? I can't remember if they said a date on that.
No, that was no, there was no date set on that because they were still in discussions of what time that date was going to be set.
Yeah. Well, I would think it would have to be early in September. There's no way. Again, if you've been in settlement negotiation anyway, you'd want to get that over as soon as possible.
Right. And if they've tanked the settlement portion of it, they're still going to have the discovery, the deposition.
Mhm.
And if they do that, their discussion was 9/15 is not the 9/15 was the date for a status conference. That was supposed to be
that was already existing too. So there was already a pre-existing status conference on that anyhow, and they were talking about moving that anyway.
That was supposed to be all their hearings were supposed to be done by then. All of the discovery was supposed to be done. They were going to have a major discussion at that point in time, an evidentiary hearing. But
Yeah, they're going to find out whether or not this property, again, it's talking about homesteading. So whether or not this is actually homesteaded, and that, I mean, that's a huge question in this.
It is, because that's the largest thing that she has that's worth any sort of value. I mean, you know, you think about this, you might own clothes, you might own a car, you might have you know, some nice watches, but far and above, your home is going to still usually exceed all of that.
Well, on top of it too, if they get a settlement in, that would that would be a huge benefit to Lynette Preston as far as you know, ongoing cases and other things, because I'm sure, you know, if you're settling, you're probably settling everything. I'm guessing, you know, as far as her is concerned, that would involve that. I'm sure all that'd be just like a reset switch. So if you don't do that, you know, that means everything is still good, everything's still golden, and all the cases move forward.
Right. Yeah, and especially if you got some third party going in there and messing with the attorney. Good job.
Well, I mean, and she's also, she said too that the judge is aware of what he and Mr. Shuckett are doing. You know, I was like, well, what does that mean too? Are you trying to say that you guys have been trying to communicate with the judge out of school? You know,
what it
Because
sounds like.
she said as part of that post too. Cool thing is the judge knows exactly what Germ and Shockett are doing. Ha 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 ha. What?
Huh? Well, I mean, as far as trying to get some sort of settlement happening, they're actually negotiating. Yeah, that would be pretty much straight on.
Yeah.
Like the judge is aware that they're still in talks. So Saran Wrap and Shockett are both in talks to try to get things resolved. I mean, the judge was quite impressed with that. The judge was just like, "Excellent, these things are moving forward. Do I need to get a mediator?" And they said, "Well, we don't think we're there yet for a mediator." And
Because
it
she
looks like
demanded. I mean, it's
because
part of that. She
because the
wants. Well, she doesn't want Shockett to be part of it. It's crazy.
well, and that's where the depot is going to become the most important thing, and that's going to happen soon. And note that the judge did discuss something about that.
Yeah.
That will not happen until after, most likely, because they were trying to schedule the deposition to be done in September. They didn't have a specific date, but the judge basically said, if you guys can't get this worked out, I expect a motion. I expect a motion to come in from both of you, and you need to work together on getting this motion in to schedule it to be here in Gainesville. Well, she's in Tallahassee because Randy asked her that, but she was like, it'll be in not Levy County, but in Gainesville, and she will be there. And if she has to come out, she will. But that's where they're going to end up having the deposition.
That's what's going to happen. You know, that's going to happen. It's going to be in Gainesville. The judge is going to be there anytime there's a question of anything going on. They're going to have to get the judge involved. You know, so essentially, that's not good. By the way, like Shizzy said, the judge. They're very happy when you get along because it doesn't have. They don't have to waste their time. They don't have to waste it over squabbles. And again, you know, okay, Lynette needs to understand something, that it doesn't matter how she perceives what's transpiring. This is her case. She is trying to write off money that is owed to someone else, you know, and if she wants to change the rules or the dynamic of it, if she wants to allow Lisa, who again it sounds like has been meddling in this stuff, to get involved in it, then all right, you can get Jeremy fighting that tooth and nail. You know?
Well, and that's also the
absolutely
thing is you know, it's going to be, no matter how she looks at it, it's going to be Randy there facing her. And I think that's what Saran Wrap is trying to tell her. It's like, you know, you can do this here and get this taken care of here and now, or you can end up in Gainesville in front of the judge, where the judge will, if she has to step in there, she's going to do it immediately. She's not going to play this, and there's going to be sanctions given. But you need to work out your problems, because it sounds like Randy's going to be the one deposing you.
Well, she conceded, sir, or Ramsaran conceded. I can't say conceded. There we go. Certain items, like here noted this. So he was asked if there was anything that he had to add regarding the objection to the exemption, and he said, "I would say that I think the issue is a little in there than the papers suggest." You know, it's strange listening to him talk, by the way. He never seems prepared. He always seems scared.
Yeah.
You know, he seems like a fidgety little boy, because that's exactly how he said it. I think the issue is a little in there than the papers. I was like, what does that mean? Okay. I know what he was trying to say, but it's not what he said. So I just wanted to say, I think what's not in dispute, the property is within the town of Otter Creek, as the response indicates. It's approximately 1.66 acres. It therefore exceeds the half-acre constitutional limitation. We concede that all of that in our response for November, and we're not retreating from that. We have already, they talked about boundary surveys they've already produced, by the way, which, okay, I wonder if remember they had somebody come out and was looking at that property. I still wonder if that person that showed up on the property said was a stalker actually had to do with the bankruptcy.
Yeah, I mean,
you remember that guy though? They had outside that was knocking and doing everything, taking some pictures. I wondered if he was there as part of the bankruptcy.
That might have been why he was there.
Yeah, and they were all like blame Jeremy, which would not be attached to Jeremy in any way. That would actually be attached to Lynette. It's her.
Well, you saw how fast they backed away from that story, right?
Oh yeah, they just buried it.
Like, because, we've got his license plate. And what did you find out about it? Because apparently they shut up really quick whenever they did a little bit of research on the guy's license plate.
What in the world?
What do you got?
I'm just reading some of
the crazy stuff.
Oh my God. It's just more insanity and harassing, trying to go and harass Megan Fox, and they are idiots. They are absolutely idiots. They're also talking about harassing. They're not just talking about making articles and stuff. They're talking about I mean, they're publicly discussing this, by the way. So it's very easily proven this is going on. They're talking about trying to publicly harass the company that he works at.
That's what they were talking about a couple of weeks ago.
I mean,
a couple of days ago. I'm sorry. That's what they were talking about a couple of days ago. Was saying, well, he just got this. He does this. It's just like, why are you going and bringing somebody into this?
Oh, they're talking about going and tagging the CEO and all employees that work with her husband, all of them, and trying to basically fuck up his job. Like, oh, these people who totally don't do that, by the way. It's funny, too, because a certain someone has been all over the place, and yet another one of her stupid episodes, and she has been doing her damnedest to not only create SEO, she's been creating these. It's kind of funny. She's been creating these videos and articles that they do nothing. The videos are absolutely nothing, but they'll say something like, Leslie Federico's accepts a retired lawyer. Leslie Federico's accepts a major award, and it's an AI picture, and there's nothing there because it's supposed to be about search engine optimization. She creates new articles that have her name on it, and she's been blotting those out. But also on the same thing that she's doing this with, the same accounts, she's creating articles about Megan Fox and her husband. Now, with those two, these people have started having these sock puppet accounts are publicly calling for people to harass Megan Fox and her husband.
That's not good.
That's not smart at all. You're in a lawsuit with someone and you're like, hey, let's go after and fuck these people's jobs up. Oh yeah, good job. Smart move. And it's really funny because again, we saw all of the so-called proof where Leslie's like, she contacted my school. Well, she called my school is what it was. Well, where's the proof of that? Well, she talked to Rosalind Duke. What? What does that even mean?
What does that have to do with anything? The reason Rosalind Duke reached out is because they were saying that Rosalind Duke, they were saying that she is the one that caused the school to be shut down.
Yep.
And Rosalind was just like, what in the hell does this have to do with me? And it's like, if this is true, I need to find out, first of all, is somebody using my name and doing something? Because they're accusing me of this, and she reaches out and finds out, the school is never shut down. Not one bit. There was nothing. There was no statewide shutdown. There wasn't lockdowns or any crap like that. And she was just and then they're just like, see, she totally reached out to him. It's like, good God.
It was all insane, man. It's still insane. But anyway, so Saran Wrap, I'm laying, no, me too, man. I'm all over the place. And again, it's just so much. It's so much information. It's how do you even process it into digestible slices, you know? But he says that, let me see, they had produced boundary surveys. He said, I think what remains here is a second ground for their objection, which is the assertion that the property does not contain a livable structure and is the basis for denying the homestead exemption. So I think that is the crux of what we're going to be addressing for the 15th. I'm curious, what is the livable structure, by the way? Like
Well-
what are they claiming is a livable structure?
Well, it can't be the tiny home, because to have a livable structure, you have to have hot and cold running water and a bathroom in a livable structure. Even a tiny home will have a bathroom. Even if it's a small one, they'll have a bathroom, and just pooping in a bucket is not considered a bathroom. I don't know if it would have to have a shower in it, but I would say it would have to have, it would basically have to have all of the amenities that a home would have, you know, but beyond electricity and AC and, you know, your measly stuff. You can't have a mobile home as a livable structure because it's not a structure. You can't have the barn dominium is not a livable structure.
No, because so looking at this, it falls under, it looks like Florida statute 196.031 and Article 7, of course, which is, I think that we pulled up, what was that, Section 6 that we were looking up in the Florida Constitution. But like raw land, vacant lots, or structures under construction do not qualify. So that actually doesn't. Now, they also, as far as mobile homes, for example, they have to be permanently affixed to the land, meaning the owner, both owns the home and the land, and it must be registered with a real property decal. That's what I was reading. You've seen like the trailer parks, you know, those kind, and I'm not talking about the campsite trailer parks. I'm talking about the and you'll see a lot of them, you know, in Florida and South Georgia. You'll see there's just, you know, a bunch of mobile homes that are packed in tight together, and you know, those are all livable structures. If they had done something like that, and that's what one of the construction companies came out and said to Lynette, was like, you know, the metal building, you can't build inside of that. It doesn't have the proper structure, your joist for your roof, the actual joist, not the roof itself, but the joists that hold up the roof. It can't maintain. If something was to fall on that, you have to have wooden beams that cross over and hold that roof in place, and you don't have any of that. And also, you're wanting to change the footprint from original, and you have to understand, you have load bearing walls that have to be built properly, and that none of that exists in there. It's basically an empty shell. Now, in Florida, for example, if you have active work going on, that means you have your permits. You can be in your motorhome, your camper, whatever it might be, as a temporary use while there's actual work going on. But none of that ever happened. You know, one of the things too, I think one of the things that causes her problems too is that the quote unquote tiny home, as they keep saying now, right? They called it a shed for the longest time. You know, that's the way they've referred to it, as a utility shed. And that qualifies under non-essential structure. You know, it's a detached, there's no primary dwelling. So you're talking about, again, You're talking about it being seen the same way as a fence would be. You know, it's a non-essential item or non-essential structure. So they, I don't understand what they want to claim there.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think Saran Wrap's actually even been to the property to understand what is going on there. And the pictures that you've seen is just, you know, in this metal barn with some lumber sitting around in it and trying to say, look, there's work being done. No, that's not work being done because there's no permitting that's been allowed. You don't have the building built for that. That's not what that building was built for. I mean, one of those buildings like that you can put up in a day. You get a crew of 10 people, you can have that thing put up in a day. You know, it's great for storage. You're putting maybe a tractor in and, you know, some lumber or whatever just to keep it dry, but livable? No, there's too much airflow going through those things. Like they're not built for that.
Well, no, and it's funny, in the past, she made it very, very clear that that wasn't a structure that she considered livable either. Nowadays, they're arguing again. They've tried to go with the tiny home argument because they want it to be a livable structure. That's why they've been saying that over and over again.
Yeah, and it has to have you have to have an occupancy permit. Even a tiny home has to have an occupancy permit. And also your property, you have to have it zoned for that also. It's like I know there's some counties here in Georgia where people have wanted to put a tiny home on a piece of property, and as soon as they go and talk to the zoning department, the zoning department is just like, no, we will not give you permission for that. And you can put one there, but you can't call it a home. You can't live there. That's not a livable structure. Same way with people were wanting to do the what are those big metal containers, the storage container
Oh
buildings.
yeah.
Oh my God, those things are absolutely horrible, and they cost. Don't ever build one of those if you don't fall into that scam. Because I did a lot of research on this because some of the work that I do deals with that kind of stuff, and this guy wanted to come in and build about 5 or 6 of these things. And I was like, what in the hell are these things? Because I'd never heard of them. I looked it up and I was just like, oh my God. Because to make them, you have to cut most of the metal out of it, and then you have to reinforce all of it. It's like, and after the cost is said and done, you were just better pouring a slab and putting a building on it. It's so expensive just to get them usable, because they don't have any way that you can do the electrical without putting any sort of framing in it. It's like, oh my God, these people, why are they doing this? An ugly blight to create this.
Well, it's interesting. By the time you do that too, it ends up costing a small fortune anyway. Like, what are you paying to connect a bunch of canisters?
Yeah, that's exactly what they are.
It's expensive. I mean, again, if you can make it work on your own, awesome. But these people who, God, I've seen a lot of people do some ridiculous stuff with that. But anyway, so they talk about that. They bring this all up, and the judge is like, well, you know, we're not. We just heard the other side say that they're not ready to proceed on this because there's still outstanding discovery issues. So, you know, he brought this up. It was like again, it's interesting because Saran Wrap never feels prepared. Like I would not want something that I'm doing in the court to hinge on arguments with him. He would get destroyed. He would, absolutely. You know, he's a terrible order. But like I said, it's always part of his is nervousness, which is okay. I mean, you can be nervous, but part of it is a nervousness because he doesn't ever feel prepared. It's so weird to watch. He's exactly like when we watched videos when he was squirming in the hot seat. you know, with the
with the
I mean,
appellate court. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Well, he's just like that. Like in every hearing, it's amazing. He
Yeah.
doesn't feel ready.
I mean, he was squirming whenever he first got in there. Like he looked uncomfortable on that toilet seat. He was just he was squirming, and it was like, are you prepared for this? Because it looks like you're not. I mean, it just and especially when the judge is like, saran wrap, hello. He was, oh yeah, I was like, what were you doing? Were you wiping or something, brother? I mean, come on. It was the
Yeah.
strangest thing to me. I mean, because whenever you say unprepared, I don't know, is he letting the flea like tell him how to run his law business?
It felt like, again, you know, okay, so that last filing that he did, the flea over and over and over again kept talking about wanting a transcript. And finally, when he files something, lo and behold, it's got the transcript. Not only that, but so many of the points that they tried to make, it sounded like their talking points, not like a legal filing. It
Right.
sounded like their talking points with very, very little case law added, by the way.
Well,
You know?
and I was looking at that part of him where he's talking about the fleas part of it, because I pulled it up. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. Like you look at document 149. That's the one that the debtor's amended response in opposition to creditor, Jeremy Hale's motion to compel resumption of deposition for sanctions. There, like Randy has his listed out, and Saran Wrap just has it like intermingled and scattered throughout the entire thing.
Right. It's just there. It's like he's taking darts and throwing them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. And I mean, it's like so many different spots. And I'm like looking at it going, okay, I think that she was confusing Randy's and his. I really do.
Well, I don't know how otherwise. I hope not. I just, for the life of me, when she was talking about that, I could not, I couldn't get my mind past that, you know? I couldn't get my mind past that at all. It just, there was so much discussion about everything. You could tell the way that this has been going forward. Well, the discussion is it talks about settlement. That's where they are. You can see that in them talking about everything.
Yeah. Like you could, and the impression I got, because Randy wasn't arguing and neither was Saran Wrap on this. They were just saying, hey, you know, we're trying to work this kind of stuff out and resolve this. And, you know, we're close to it, because initially they were just like, yeah, we should be ready for the 15th. And she's like, I don't think we're ready for the 15th. And I don't even think the deposition is going to be done by the 15th. So it's just going to be a status conference. You know, the 15th is going to be a status conference. And, you know, at some time after that, we'll have another one, you know, the evidentiary hearing on this, because discovery hasn't been completed. Judge was you could tell she was frustrated that, you know, this has been going on for so long, because she's looking at the timeline on this, like, why is this taking so long? This shouldn't be difficult.
What amazes me with bankruptcy courts is they want to make the assumption that stuff is not done in bad faith. So they let assholes out there like Saran Wrap waste months and months of creditors' time, you know, where he just doesn't file anything. So for 75 days, he doesn't file anything, and something gets knocked down. And that's it. Like for me, if you continue to disrespect my court in that way, I would slap you with one hell of a fine.
Well,
Now,
and then the lucky thing is that Specky retired off of that and turned the case over to this judge. Lucky for them, because she's not familiar with the crazy that they've been doing.
yeah,
But
she's brand new
about
to
to
all
see.
of that. She needs to review all of the stuff that they've tried to pull, you know, and really look at all of the commingled stupid into this, because it's
The late
kind of
filings
unreal.
from Saran Wrap. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Or the lack of filings from him again.
Yeah.
But I
I
mean,
mean-
from it, you know, it's so strange. You would never think that that people would give a shit about a bankruptcy hearing.
No, bankruptcy hearing usually is pretty cut and dry. Like most bankruptcies are pretty cut and dry. I mean, I say that you know that somebody's doing something improper whenever a bankruptcy is having so many issues. I mean, Laura Owens, Ron Owens, and his wife Jan, their bankruptcy was so screwed up. They did a fundraiser under the premise that it was for Owens's medicals, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and that oh my God, the discussions about, you know, so you you paid off your credit card bills with this?
Paid off your Macy's bill with this?
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have to take that up with the people that donated the money, probably, you know, the GoFundMe. But yeah, that's not proper use of funds. And she tried to argue, well, that's not what we said. And she was like, well, then who wrote this? Well, we had a friend write this. Who was the friend that wrote this? And then it was just like, well, I wrote it. I'll take responsibility for it. No, ma'am, you said that a friend of yours wrote this. Who was the friend that wrote this? Because, you know, she's got to get intention. That's why they wanted out that bankruptcy so bad, because they were just about to get a major lawsuit slapped on them by all Give, Send, Go or whoever they were using. And I think that's why these people have been running their little fundraisers off the radar of anybody holding them accountable.
Yeah. And bankruptcy courts, they also don't want to look at you like you're actually guilty, if anything. You know, they don't want to look at you like you're doing something in bad faith. You know, they want to see things as, well, maybe you don't know what you're doing, or you made a mistake with this or that. And unfortunately, that's good in a lot of cases, because you know, on a regular person out there, you don't want the courts and the government cracking down on every person that makes a mistake, because in bankruptcy, a lot of times you're dealing with pro se individuals, you know, that have nothing anymore. They're just saddled with either credit card debts or medical debt. Medical debt is a big issue, you know, as far as that is concerned. And normally, you know, with bankruptcies, typically no creditor shows up. You don't have anything. It's just almost a standardized process. You don't have people that are trying to write off court cases, you know?
Right.
I mean, you see very few of those. Now, when it does happen, again, I think that what we're hearing about, I think it says more about what has happened with, you know, their approach with Jeremy Hales again. When they're talking about like price and him trying to buy, like, why would he want that land? He wouldn't want it for anything except to get those people out of his life.
I mean, that would be what I'd want to do. I mean, if I had somebody that was interrupting my business, posting, you know, some of the most vilest stuff on signs around the neighborhood, yeah, I wouldn't want them as neighbors at all. I would want to make sure that they're as far away from me as possible, so I can continue on with my life as it was before they got into it.
There would have to be a stipulation in that when they evacuate, they have to stay so far away. I wonder how far away that would be, you know? Because, I mean, there's no way that you would buy that land just for them to be able to move in, you know, down the street.
Yeah.
You'd want them off that. You'd want them away. Now, I don't know if that is, that's got to be in a distance thing. Because if you were just like, hey, you know, I don't want you in blah, 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 you know, you'd want it in case he ever gets a a resident somewhere else, you know, because these people have already tried to treat him like a blank check. It's also, there's a lesson in all of this stuff. One of the lessons here is that our system allows people to really fuck up your life. And if you have money, you might be able to fight back, but it's a crash course in the reality of it, that by the time you get to the point where you can do something about it, the damages are already done, you know?
Yeah.
Like there is no intervention for the regular person out there, just a business. Now, again, if they did the same thing that they did to a brick and mortar store, they would have been arrested in a heartbeat.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, they would have been trespassed, arrested, and they would have been facing a serious lawsuit.
But online, you can have people. That's why, like, unfortunately, I hate to say, I like the business model. Like my business model is making fun of weirdos, and
yeah,
that's okay. It's hard to trash my business model. These people are your bread and butter, but for a regular person out there that's just trying to get by.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting to see this lawsuit that the Flea is dropping. I mean, she's said that she's suing Megan Fox. I'm getting a little antsy here.
I'm like, well, do we have to finish the fundraiser for you? I mean, what do you need to get this going? I mean, Megan's been like, come on, let's get this on. So
they've been slamming on it for the past 2 years, and I'm just like, come on, do I need to sue it and you join in or something? I mean, come on, I want to see this happen.
I really want to see this copyright lawsuit that they've been busting up, because I mean, it is one of the dumbest arguments I've ever heard.
Well, don't worry, Tug. You'll be next, and then of course, because Megan's much bigger than you, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And then of course there's going to be Mr. Coop and just Jay Hale. Got to get him there.
You and him for satire is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I was just like, satire and parody.
Yep. Do you think I should just change my channel to satire and then we can get Jay Hep to just call it his channel parody, and then we'll do streams together and call it satire and parody.
Yeah, satire Wiznut. There you go. It's just funny, man, because that is it's amazing that we have those videos that were made about Hales and Megan Fox, and they said that that's satire and parody. Okay, but you taking a transcript of her own words and just throwing that in to AI, making a funny song about it, that's somehow a violation of copyright, and on top of that, that's also somehow a harassment attempt and more.
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand why you calling it harassment. I mean, these are words that came out of your mouth. You said these things. You alluded to these things. You did all of this, and then whenever it gets pointed out, I mean, they went and struck Olaf, and
that was so weird.
I was like, why would you strike somebody? And Olaf was like, you guys used to talk about freedom of speech. You've heard what their latest thing is. Well, it's not freedom of speech whenever it's harassment. It was like, what are you talking about? Like, you throw these claims out there that mean absolutely nothing.
Beyond that, it's easy to defend the speech that you like. We wouldn't, if it were only about speech that you like, we wouldn't have to have laws protecting it, because it would all be sunny, flowery bullshit. It's the speech that you find to be offensive that you have to protect. And the thing is, like when they talk about, the harassment and all of this other trash, when they bring that up, it's really interesting to me that these are the same people that have made heinous claims about a lot of folks, not a couple, but a lot of folks. And, right now, all of them are also participating in a very, very active campaign to do harm to a person that, what's this crime? Oh, he's married to Megan Fox.
Yeah.
That's
that right there would be harassment on a private individual.
Yeah, that's another level too. But again, that's who and what these folks are. So somebody sent me over, by the way, the portion that talks about the homesteading. So I'm going to read a few of these things. Okay. Gotcha. So the structure rule under Florida statute 196.012. Man, I was right about 196. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
So, I actually remembered that. And it was funny because I didn't look it up. So, a property must be classified as a real property to receive a homestead exemption. A fifth wheel or pull behind trailer on wheels is legally classified as a motor vehicle, not real property. So, again, a fifth wheel or pull behind trailer, no. So a sticker requirement to claim a homestead on an RV, it must be permanently affixed to land you own with wheels removed, and you must apply for the official RP or real property license sticker from the DMV. So there's a form number it notes. And as far as the half acre, it talks about Article 10. Section 4 of the Florida Constitution restricts homestead exemptions within a municipality like the city limits of Otter Creek to a maximum of 1/2 acre. Receiving an automated tax approval, for example, 1/2 an acre, does not make the setup legal. It simply means that Levy County property appraisers automated computer systems process the municipal land cap rule without conducting a manual property inspection. That's interesting. So second part of that, building and zoning violations. So the accessory structures, a metal barn shell and utility sheds are legally categorized as accessory structures. That's what we were talking about. So if you look that up in the Levy County Development Department. So it would also, you could look that up for the classifications. Under local zoning laws, you cannot legally claim a homestead exemption on accessory structures. So again, like we were saying, that's why they keep trying to push the tiny home thing. It's so easy to see in that. But a permitted primary residential dwelling must exist on the plot. Now, the unpermitted conversion. Converting a metal barn shell into a living space requires a full architectural rewrite. Engineer wind load calculations to meet Florida hurricane building codes and active building, plumbing, and electrical permits. Yeah. Which the permitting thing, and again, they had permits at one time. It's just somebody let them expire. It's funny. By the way, isn't it interesting? You notice how Lynette shut the fuck up when she got paid?
Tug, somebody in chat said Megan's in chat and said read her Facebook.
Her Facebook, okay.
She may have something new there.
Read her Facebook. All right, let me check it real quick. Let's see. I'm looking for let's see. Let me check this. And I hate when Megan Fox does yoga.com. Oh, no, not that.
Oh,
that's not it. That's not the right place. She meant her
Facebook. This 18 minutes ago. Oh, do you want me to share it?
Yeah, I see that actually. Yeah. I see that. I got it right here.
Okay. I'll let you pull it up.
Yeah, let's check this out here. So,
wow.
Yeah, look at them talking about this. Is the look, the level of this shit has been unreal. So they're going on YouTube and popping. Unfortunately, Leslie, when you when you come back and you're just off your tilt yet again, when you're doing this stuff, you do really stupid shit. Like you don't delete the prior videos that were on an account, for example. So when you're throwing out all of this, this dumb shit about Megan Fox and her family and everything else, you still have up where you've uploaded your songs and other things where you can't deny it's you. It's not just some random person out there, because some random person wouldn't give a shit about your single number hits, where nobody else is actually listening to that. It's unreal. But yeah, they say, I have a great idea. Since Megan is so into FOIA requesting everyone's records, why don't we FOIA request her husband redacted Fox's records from, I'm guessing that's his workplace. What?
Yeah.
I think there's FOIA records though for his workplace. What the fuck does that even mean?
No, that's not Freedom of Information Act. Freedom of Information Act is for government records, you morons.
What do they think you can request there? I'm sorry, I'd like to get the records request for,
but that would just
for one of your employees.
That would just be like somebody reaching out to your employer, your employer. So say we'll just say it's John's Truck Stop, and says, we want to know about your employee, that umbrella guy. What can you send me? And you know what the kind of thing that they'll get back from them is, excuse me, this is an employee here, and you are asking something that on any sort of level is highly inappropriate, and you could just piss off.
But can you imagine though their argument with that? They'd be like, "Can I get this information?" And they're like, "No, but what about FOIA?"
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like, this is a great way to get slapped with a restraining order for harassing a private company that has a security team and its employees. If certain people don't like their records being public, they should stop breaking that freaking law and get themselves arrested. And for the mentally deficient, public records are government records. That's it. That's only what records FOIA works for. She's right. These people are, she's right. They are mental midgets.
Let's see, Substack. I'm downloading something before I pull it up. I want to show you something else too in just a second, but I want to make sure I have it archived, just to show the, just to show the level of not just stupid, but harassment, because again, you can tell that this is all, it's Leslie and it's Amy 100%. Because she's been doing this not just on sites, she's behind all this other. So then they go for anyone up for it. Also, they say, I think we should start tagging the CEO and all employees who work with her husband on all our posts. That is not just harassment of Megan Fox's husband. That's harassment of just random people.
That right there would get you all kinds of tortious interference lawsuits.
Why doesn't anyone that has like $1 to their name ever like do this dance though?
Here's a really simple thing. If you really want to go hard at Megan Fox, like and I mean this in all honesty, if you really want to go hard at Megan Fox, why don't you prove her wrong? That's the easiest way to destroy Megan Fox, is all of the stuff that she's out here spewing, all the BS that Megan Fox is saying. Why don't you prove her wrong? Why don't you show the receipts? Prove her wrong whenever she says, hey, this right here is what I see that looks bad. Prove her wrong. That's the quickest way to take a reporter and show them exactly what you're talking about. And so far they haven't been able to do that. Maybe that's why they've had to go to harassing other people, because
they've always the reality is that they have found that it works, that they can go in and they can harass the ever loving hell out of people. And of course, many people will back down. Now, unfortunately for them, people like Megan, I mean, why would she back down? You know, she's
No, you all you're doing is inspire her to go even harder at you.
It's also funny. Like they whine about body shaming and all this shit, and then you look at the crazy shit that they post and pull. I'll show you like crazy, but I'm archiving something while we're talking, and I'm making sure that I have copies because when Leslie decides that she's okay, so she fucked up. You want me to show you a really fun thing? She put out these articles about Megan Fox, right? I'm gonna show you these real quick. And she tried to put them under a fake name, but she fucked up on this. Now check this out. This is even better. So she puts up these things about her husband and all of this, right? Under this account. Okay. Now this account, when you roll down through it, you know, it tells you I'm a retired attorney and all this stuff, right? But look, it's tagged Leslie Substack. And on the top of it, she forgot the coming soon. It says, this is Leslie Substack. So she's trying to do this anonymous fucking harassment bullshit. But she forgot to remove.
You don't think that this shit doesn't show up in the crap that she's got going on right now? She's got a hearing coming up.
Oh my god! I just archived her fucking Substack. You know, the whole thing.
Oh.
It's so funny though, because all these people, you notice, they talk about coordination and shit too. They're like, oh, these people, because if we have a document that drops or something, we all talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Of course, it's the brand new document or whatever. What they're doing, their coordination, they all suddenly start targeting Megan Fox's family, her husband, whomever. That's the actual coordination that you say.
Yes, the coordination of them coming after you, sending CPS to your house.
Oh man, it's just, let's see, Leslie Federico's Substack. I'm putting this away. I also need to misspell it because I forget Substack. I've gotten in the bad habit of spelling, like when I make fun of vomit so much, I actually start spelling it with just a K and not a C. I've mocked him so many times, it's become real. Yeah, but finishing off too, we didn't finish that statement on there. I mean, it is unreal they're doing this to Megan's freaking family. Again, I'm not surprised. And they try to play the, well, she talked about, okay, who? Gabe? You mean the guy that's all part of their show and you know, they raised money with, and then he got arrested for a fucking blow. And they also, they said was this, it's all a conspiracy. There is no felony. It's all civil felonies.
Yeah, the civil felonies still, I still haven't figured that one out. I've been searching the law books for civil felony, and I still haven't found one. I know that there's civil law and there's criminal law, but I've never seen any civil felony. I mean, I've seen, you know, civil cases turn into felonies.
Mm.
You know, Laura Owens is a perfect example. That was actually a rental issue that ended up turning into felonies. What is it? 14 counts now of felonies. That hearing's going to be coming up soon too. Ooh.
These people are just stupid, man. I mean, for her to, the stuff that she's trying to pull through that. And you know what's funny is you can tell that Tanya Moore, that is Leslie. You know how you can tell? Well, let's look at that account real quick. The one that's put that out. Let's go check it out.
Yeah,
let's see exactly what it posts. All right. 1 second. Let me make sure it doesn't have an address or something crazy right there in the front. So It is everything that Leslie has been posting with her. Read my Substack. It's funny too. Look, she's got to create these fake pictures of Megan and then the fake pictures of her. Well, I don't know which one to laugh at more. The fact that she has to fake pictures of Megan to like drag her face, or that she has to make fake pictures of her to make her acceptable.
Oh, you know what she did? She grabbed the flea, and no, that's the flea. She got the flea's face right there.
But I mean, look at this. You can tell that this is fucking Leslie. Like, it's a brand new sock puppet account. It's got all of this stuff, and all it posts is Leslie's material from it. Whoops. Let me see. Let me also go ahead and archive that account. I'm going to put that. I'm going to put that with the Substacks too. This will be Tanya Moore. I mean, she's an idiot. Like, if you're going to go fake an account, don't make it so obvious. Good Lord, dude. Come on. I mean, Tanya Moore, fake account. Substack harassment.
These people are just the most amazing level of stupidity I've ever seen.
Well, they do make life funny sometimes. Again, you know, I hate it that people deal with this stuff. I do. You know, they love to target Megan Fox, but the reason that they do it, first of all, Megan's effective. You know, when we talk about all the reasons they do that, that's a primary one. She's very effective in finding the truth of matters, and they don't like it when people find the truth out about them.
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact that Megan, she goes, whenever she's digging on something, she goes, and if something doesn't add up, she starts asking questions like, this doesn't make any sense. You're saying this. I found this. This doesn't add up. Explain to me how this is supposed to add up. Like, connect the dots for me here. And if it's not connected to her satisfaction, she will not talk about it. She doesn't discuss it.
Oh yeah, there's stuff out there that that I've seen, you know, like letters and other bullshit that I know it's not substantiated. So check this out. She's also been creating this for SEO that I've been talking about, right? So here's this account. Like, she's spawning these fake, look, these are the fake videos. They don't look like her, but these are, so look, it's Leslie and Michael Federico's, right? Special thanks too. Oh, look, they've won. Here she is at a leadership conference. But look, there's not an actual picture. This is a fake video. It's 16 seconds. There's nothing in it but this fake picture, but it creates something that is searchable. So what she's trying to do is create fake search results for her name. This shit has her accepting fake awards at a women's leadership, you know, all this other crazy shit. But what's funny is on some of these accounts, when she first started doing this stuff, she forgot to delete some of the crazy stuff that also talks about Megan Fox. So let's see. I'm going to save this as Leslie new SEO channel. That will be, what is this from? I'm just going to archive it today. 2026. I realize it's, you know, it's a few days ago, but that's good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, but she's created all these. Again, you can see it's not a picture of her. It's not even close to her.
No.
She doesn't care.
No, she's just throwing up an image up there.
Yeah, she's vomiting up fake freaking searchable stuff. And on top of it, she's done that with like these crazy freaking Megan Fox videos. That True Scope, by the way, the one I just pointed out, you know, that she's opened that stuff up with. Yeah, check this out. So on top of that, she had a YouTube. Let me make sure. Let me check something first. Now, if you're going to go and create something that talks like this kind of insanity about someone, you should probably delete the old videos that were there first. If you look, you've got all these crazy videos, but then you have all of her weird dance stuff. Look at that thumbnail. What in the world? Run for the bathroom. She's got all these crazy things about Megan. Like, look at these videos that I have about her, about Megan Fox, you know. But on top of it, she's got these weird freaking. It was her music videos that are. Oh, it's so unreal.
Those things were so horrible. I had to laugh. It was just like.
I'm gonna put True Scope. This is Leslie Ferdrigo's YouTube that matches the Substack name. Again, there's just so much insanity that, like, I'll go through. I'm telling you, like, you have no idea. I have to figure out a way to date this stuff anymore. I don't even know how to archive her anymore. There's just so much. It is voluminous. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much of it there.
Oh,
I go through and I try to, like I said, I try to archive some, but it's just at a certain point.
There's
like,
just so much of
God.
it. You know, that's the thing is these people will do everything they can to try to change the narrative away from what it actually is, what is actually happening, because once you call them out and you show their bad behavior, whenever you can sit there and show that the flea is not this, you know, slim fit, you know, older woman, whenever you sit there with undeniable evidence, so you keep saying, I've got a swimmer's body, I'm in perfect health, and you're just sitting there going, you sound like Jabba the Hutt just swallowed a bag of marbles. Okay.
Hey, check this out. My daughter. So I went to the doctor today, right? I had an ultrasound on my leg. So I come in, and my daughter, like, she has a vicious little biting humor like mine. So I come in and she's like, she's like, your ultrasound go okay? When's the gender reveal? She was calling me fat. When's the gender reveal? Like, damn, from a 12-year-old, I was like, oh, that is a good bird. When's the gender reveal?
Love it. And then she probably just rubbed your belly too.
Yeah, of course. It was funny. Like, these the antis were talking, and they were saying, well, I heard Tug he's gotten fat. And I was like, yeah, who'd you hear that from? Me. You know, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course, that's, you know, wow, what a disclaimer. What a
he doesn't look anything like his avatar. Well,
I know, man. You know, his umbrella face, it's not real.
Yeah, guess what? The honey badger isn't real either. So amazing how that works.
I'm just gonna have to sign off now. Let's do some super chats. You sticking around, or you out of here?
Yeah, brother.
Let's re-roll. Judy, thank you for the gold coin. Thank you. Thank you for the happy poops. Linda dropped a silver star. Thank you. Max Lab silver started up. Thank you, Max Lab. The Huggy B with the gold coin. Thank you, Huggy B. Diana, thank you for the silver star. Huggy B drops a floating heart too. Thank you there. Diana, thank you for the sparkles. Shit, thank you for the happy poops. Look, there's a lot of happy poops. Ralph dropped a happy poop as well. Thank you. Karen, what's up, Karen? Thank you for the 200 jewels with the sunshine. Thank you there. Appreciate it. Debbie, thank you for the floating heart. Suzanne, thank you for the high. Appreciate it. Some mac and cheese. Thank you for the gold coin. Catherine, thank you for the gold coin as well. A rogue pirate, thanks for the 10 months there. I need to take a whiz when I see Shizzy, but I'm not a stalker. 2012, thanks for the 5 there. Tug, check your email stat. Oh, I saw the Salt Bay one. I was gonna add it to the banners. Or not banners, but the media, because I was making jokes about Salt Bay the other day. You remember him?
God, yes.
Yeah, I was like, man, I imagine myself like, pouring out this stuff like Salt Bay and dropping it off my arm. And he made a little, gif with the Salt Bay with the tug face. I thought it was really funny. So I was going to add it to here. But I did get that 2012. I liked it. I thought it was funny. Yeah, so that, man, you talk about somebody whose name was everywhere for a few years. Lord, that dude. God. All right, give me a second here. Gotta get back over there. Thank you, 2012, though. Jersey, thank you. What a name. Look at that name. What a name. Thank you for the sparkles. Pokemon, thank you for the 100 jewels and a high five. Thank you. Appreciate that. Lisa, thank you for the silver star. Sweet Pea Granny, thank you for the floating heart. Miss Patty, thank you for the gold coin there. Thank you. Buns of Rock and Stone, thanks for the $5. I'm reminded of Papa Nut's co-host song. Sorry, Megan. Indeed. What's up, Michelle? Oh, thank you for the 5 there. At least they'll get a toilet when they leave. That's right. That's a consolation prize. And maybe a water heater. Maybe they can take that with them. Linda, thank you for the hiding. Some mac and cheese, thank you for the silver star. Nanya Beeswax, drop some chili, thank you there. 2012 dropped a 5, thank you. Saran Wrap might be in a do shape if he's talking to Fleesa. There's a great Texas case on that. I did check my email, by the way. I did that. I know you're excited about it. It was good, though. I did see it. I thought it was funny. I checked it while I was at the doctor's office today, actually. Justice Shorty, thank you for the 1,000 jewels with the shoes, baby. Heck yeah. Thank you.
Oh, man, Tug, you're not going to believe what I just heard. Ooh, I'll play it for you later. I can't play it on here.
You'll tell me later.
After
Okay. Yeah. All right. Irish Lace, thanks for the flower. There's so much good stuff out there. Man, I'm telling you, there's just oceans of stuff that keep dropping. It's good. See, mac and cheese. Thank you for the silver star here. Thanks for that. What in the world? I just saw something else pop up. See, mac and cheese. Thank you. 2012.
What popped?
The sparkles. No, I can't talk about it either. I just saw something else pop up. I'll tell you. 2012. Right. Thanks for the 2 there. Appreciate it. Judge going to be pissed if the leak killed the deal. Yeah. Well, you know who should be pissed, though, is Lynette should be pissed if it kills a deal. Because, what does it leave her with? Again, the courts. Here's the thing, too. The only person, there may be somebody that will take their land, but is there anyone that's willing to take their land at a price that they want? Or that they can live with. So I can only think of one person that would potentially do that. Jeremy Hills. Everybody else. So Ralph, thank you for the silver star there. Thank you. William, thanks for the 10 there. Appreciate it. Many months ago, the fans alluded to buying the property at auction. I can only assume she intended to use the $56K. So she has interest in tanking the deal. There's definitely some shady stuff going on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be, them buying that property would be weird.
Well, I believe that the property that they were talking about was Tubetown 2.0, that they were talking about buying that property. That was what they were after. Like they were trying to get Only Me involved in that too. That's how I remember it.
It's so funny.
Because they were just like, yeah, we'll buy that out from underneath Jeremy, and he won't be able to get it.
Well, it's funny because all of these idiots, like I see all of their commentary and stuff, and they talk about homesteading and this and that. Well, the problem with that is, and they talk about too, Jeremy, he's talking about taking their property, and it's like there's only one person that stole that property. And it's the person that would not allow it to qualify correctly.
Yeah.
That's the only person. But yeah, I think you're right, William, in that for sure. There's some shade business.
Yes.
Woe is me. Thank you for the gold coin there. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Suzanne? Hey, man, almost 2 years. Appreciate it. Thank you for the facts and the laughs. Well, thank you. And thank you for being here. Allie, thanks for the 5. Will they move the depot from Gainesville to Gainesville? I know. I think we're going to have a return for that song. Megalodonis will be back tomorrow, and then she's traveling again, but we're going to get that arrest footage. That'll be fun.
You know what I need to do is I need to take Megan's lyrics and rewrite that and really give that some punch. I love her version though.
Man. It's so funny. I'm looking over some of the stupid that these people they throw out there. And I think it is amazing because again, they all think it's fun. They all laugh about how Lynette basically has just gotten fucked in this deal. It's all fun and games because Lynette doesn't matter to them. Oh, they'll throw them a consolation. Oh, it's a shame what's happening. Or they'll say something, little girl becoming homeless is. But they haven't done anything to, again, allow Lynette to actually maybe walk away with some money and build back up somewhere.
No, if they're tanking this deal, the settlement talks are off. Good job, Felisa.
Whose fault is the bankruptcy anyway? Like who did Jeremy Hale say, hey, let's file bankruptcy? Well, there's active. They don't even have a case settlement or anything like that. So they were told, and we were told over and over again that they were going to win all these cases, right? And I'm sure they were told that too. So
yeah,
they thought they were walking away with millions. Then they end up with judgments against them, but the judgments haven't even finished yet. I mean, no. the real thing, like, if they really believed they had the chance at winning everything, they would have let everything play.
Yeah, I mean, why would you file bankruptcy if you think that you've got this one?
Yeah, why would you do it at this stage before everything had played out? Like that was a major mistake. You know, I mean, I think it was a major mistake. It was a major mistake to file, period. But also, again, why would you do that before they're I mean, obviously we knew that they were gonna end up losing some cases, but why not at least let it push by us? Well, because we know that like Discovery, they turned over nothing.
No, they still haven't turned over anything. I mean, Fed 1, they haven't even gotten to Discovery. That's what was supposed to be happening in Fed 1.
Mm-hmm.
They would have already been through Discovery, and you know that there's a big possibility if they wouldn't let it play it out, that the judge would have came back and said, "Well, I don't find that there's enough here. We're not even taking this to trial." But they didn't even get that far.
Well, it's funny. Like none of these people get the idea that there are sanctions. Again, there's a reason that this is going on. Why is he picking up property? Because she owes creditors. It's not him just selling her price. It's such a weird.
No.
This is weird. I don't even think they know what the spin is anymore. That's the strange thing, you know.
They've lost the plot.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost the plot.
Well, and it's kind of fun to watch. So the bankruptcy lawyer needs a new case. The case not fresh. Well, There could probably be some pretty funny ones actually if we really roll through them. I bet we come up with something amazing.
I bet so.
2012 with Eliza Blue. Oh Lord.
Oh, that's right.
Freaking Eliza Blue, man.
Eliza Blue. Oh my God, I totally remember because
that was a mess.
That was such a mess. I remember watching that play out in real time on what was it? It was his name. He's still out there doing stuff. Because it was on the set of Daily Mail.
They had Tim Cast. They had his people. You know, they ended up taking up for Eliza Blue, and Eliza Blue had she had gone in and said that she was like a child advocate. She did all of this stuff, and she pulled the same thing that all these people are pulling. When she's taken to task about all the bullshit, she said that she was an abuse advocate and all this other stuff. And then when people actually looked into her, she had never done pretty much any of the stuff that she claimed she had done. So after that starts coming out, guess what? She starts flagging everybody that she can, because of course she is. So, which was not anything people weren't expecting in any way, But
it was Watson and Elijah. I want to say Elijah Wood, but I'm wrong on the name.
I can't think of his Schaefer, maybe something.
Yeah, Elijah Schaefer.
How the fuck can I remember his name? God, I don't want to know that name.
No, well, they had their own thing that was on YouTube. They were doing their own thing, and he showed up, and somebody started asking him about all of the actual like really weird stuff that he was doing, like, and we're talking about to himself on camera on these particular sites that are not safe for family viewing, and that's whenever he sort of lost his crap and yelled at Sydney Watson. And she was just like, what is going on? I'm just reading what's up here on the chat. And yeah, that's the thing. I don't think the fleas remember this stuff, that people actually research this, that the lies that they're telling are so verifiable. And she talks about, oh, I did all this stuff with music. And I'm like, if you were this big in music, where is your name on all of this stuff that you supposedly did? It's just not there. Only thing that I've found
remember
is
the
lawsuits.
Yeah, the lawsuit that she was like, I won, and then it turned out to not be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, give me a second. I'm going to tell Megan that I archived all of that stuff. I don't want her. Give me 1 second. I'm going to tell her.
You don't want her trying to find it too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Archived all that. Substack, etc. The main case filing. There we go. I just want her doing all that again. Meemaw, thank you for the silver star. It's a lot of work. I didn't want her wasting her time. Lisa Lee might smell it like the pea. Thanks for the 5. The gay bearded knuckler. I will buy the land for 2 cardboard boxes. That dude, man. That dude is he's like, I self-medicate heavily, to quiet the voices. And I go, wow. That's a really great guy, and again, they're trying to work people like him up into a frenzy.
Yeah.
Where they're telling them, oh, he's stealing this land from a little kid or this or that.
No.
Some dude like that's out there hearing voices, those people are not safe. That's a potentially dangerous person.
Yeah. And they're working them up into a frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
They wind them up and let them go. It's the same thing that they did with Squat Dump. They get her all worked up, and then she starts crap with her next door neighbor, and then they just sit back and they laugh at it. They think it's hilarious.
Well, it
how they
ruins
can-
her too. They don't care who it ruins.
You know what? You know what? One thing about all of those arrests from their neighbor that was supposedly this what meth head and did all of these bad, horrible things. Guess what? He was not arrested for cocaine.
Huh.
Was
That's
when, you know,
weird.
he actually went through probation, and guess what? He never popped positive for any of the stuff that they said that he was doing. Weird how that works, isn't it?
That is kind of strange, actually.
Considering, you know, Gabe managed to pop 3 times in 3 years.
Well, remember they were talking about the guy having a, you know, oh, he's got a drug dealer and all this stuff, and you know, they have all this proof that he's on drugs, but like you said, he's not the one popping positive
at all. Strange.
Indeed. Let's see. All right, Lisa, thank you for the chili there, by the way. What's up, Crypt Keeper? Thanks for the 10 there. Serious question. When the purgatory is taken, what would happen if nobody actually buys it? They'll get rid of it. They'll get something for it. You know, if there's an asset, some assets end up pretty low, but that's why they're motivated to keep Jeremy in the game, because you got to remember that one group by itself, you know, those lawyers, they take 40%. So they are motivated to find somebody that actually will pay money. That's why, again, you know, with them going after Jeremy, if Jeremy's like, you know, screw it, I bounce. she's created an absolute disaster.
Yeah, that means she's sitting on property that they'll start lowering the price until it's gone. And that's all she's going to get for it.
Yep.
And
Well,
that's
funny,
not going to wipe out a whole lot of debt.
Nope. Nope. But it will sell. It just, you know, the point, like at what point, what do you make? So they will take your property anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they're having this big argument.
Oh my God, this is funny too. So Suzanne made a post. I just saw this. Somebody responded. I was talking about how I was talking about the settlement getting tanked, and some account came in and was like, she doesn't need to settle. She's going to own him. And say, well, wait a minute. So Suzanne was making fun of it and said, I don't know who this Lori is, but I can't help myself. When I saw it, she commented on post about Lee ruining the settlement negotiation by saying she doesn't need to settle. She's going to own him. So here's my response. Own him? That seems unlikely. Preston's current assets consist of a vacant land whose resume included former town dump, a fence slowly becoming mulch as it loses its fight with gravity, a camper with no equity, some financed awnings, a car with with 2 owners. That's right. Including one named Financing. That's right. A sign proclaiming her current dirt mate has ED. Some bootleg booze from 2020 dubiously labeled vanilla extract.
That's right.
And potentially a partially vested interest in some portion of morsels of cremated ashes of the former wife of at least one of a multitude of ex-husbands. She doesn't own 4 walls. She doesn't own a roof. Heck, she doesn't even own the shade outright. I think it's far too ambitious to suggest she'll be expanding her portfolio by acquiring a whole human by any time in the near future. Perhaps she should finish paying for the awnings she put up way back in 2021. That's true. 2012, thanks. She can't depose him. He's on trial. Exactly. They've been talking about that, though. And that's what, like, Shizzy thought it was so funny. He was like, all right, I'll pay for the court reporter and everything if you can make that happen.
I mean, I set aside 10 grand for that, buddy.
That was
Like,
so dumb.
you know, if they want to sit there and say all this kind of stuff, oh, I could totally do this because I'm a real creditor and he's not. All right, well, let's see. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. You got nothing to back it up, because they will try to change the narrative. They'll try to change the story, and they'll change it because they are scared.
Well, you put your money where your mouth is. I put my jail where their spouse is. Oh, wait. No, oh, Lord. But yeah, that's a funny statement. I did like that one. Downing, what's up? Thanks for the 10. Lisa is telling the truth on one point. The judge does know exactly what Jeremy and Randy are doing, and she understands exactly what they're telling her. Yeah, indeed. You know, indeed. And the judge is encouraging settlement.
Yes.
The judge wants that. So, Lisa, nay. My paranormal experience. Thanks for the hiding there. Thank you. 2012. Thanks for the 2. Acrimonious is what he said.
Yes. Acrimonious.
That's right. That's right. JC, thanks for the 2. Aren't settlement talks considered confidential? Well, yeah, it's especially interesting that they brought in a non-party to discuss that with, you know, because as part of litigation, yeah, like you would think that both parties, I'm sure, they're supposed to be protected. They're not strictly automatically confidential, though.
Well, and I'm curious now what Saran Wrap is going to have to say about that, because here's the thing. Randy can easily come back and say, you know, well, Jeremy's telling me it's off because, you know, this settlement that we've been trying to reach has been totally tanked by someone that claims that they're paying you to do this. Okay. And whenever he comes back and says that, well, guess what? Saran Wrap, either he's going to have to agree that somebody has come in and tanked this, or he's going to have to say that she's a liar and has never reached out and talked to him.
So apparently the Fats are having a good guffaw out of the postings on Facebook, and they're trying to pretend that this is just a random account. Unfortunately, Leslie's too stupid to randomize her accounts. So it's actually Leslie. And what's interesting about that is Leslie has, remember when they talked about colluding together to try to entrap Jeremy Hales?
Yeah.
So they've already talked about doing that before, how they actually do conspire together. So I guess this is just one more thing to conspire with. Right?
I mean, the whole Dunk Hillbilly thing that they were doing, that was that right there was them conspiring to go after Jeremy in the first place. And that was before she even got involved.
Yep. Well, that stuff was such a mess. Oh Lord, it was so funny. Like that's one of my favorite parts with the I forget, but when I remember about how that fell apart, God, that was amazing.
Yeah, spectacularly. I mean, everything from the horse-headed, pear-headed, guy, the one that we shouldn't name, Jacob. And of course, the crucifying Bruce, that was really good. That was really good. Having Bruce, a Jewish man, up on a cross.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Deborah, thank you for the floating heart. Hey, what's up, Fallen Hero, my friend? Thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you also for you being here and being yourself, brother. Thank you. James, thanks for the 2. Tugs, Shizzy, you felons, freaks, and fools. The email. There's so much. There's so much, man.
There is.
Travis, thanks for the 5. What's coming down on Gaby Poo? It's called Big Bubba. And he ain't gonna like that. He might like that. He got a trunk out of the last bill. Who knows what
I noticed that in his and I was just thinking about this. The picture that Megan has of his arrest.
Mm-hmm.
if you look, you'll notice that he's wearing a pair of sunglasses. But if you follow up where the sunglasses are and look a little spot up there on his forehead, and then compare it to picture of him being there in the jail, looks like Gabe might have bumped his head. I wonder what happened.
I don't know. Maybe that's a bottom bunk accident. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
He's not going to like that, but if he goes to prison, he'll be safer than in county. Oh, if I were going to go to jail, I'd cut my hair for sure. Before that'd be something. I'd want to look like I had the mange. You'd be like, "Why do you got spots of hair?" Because I want to look like I got the plague. I have questions. Thanks to a trade there. I would, man. If I had to go to prison, I would. I'd be the nastiest, weirdest looking, because I wouldn't want anybody wanting to touch me in any way. I wouldn't want them to try to hit me or to lube on me, Diane, thank you for the happy poop. I've noticed too, they've done a lot lately. They keep, when they roll back to attacking. I'm sure their shows today, I'm sure it will consist of a segment of attacking former backers, co-hosts. You know what I mean? Like every show rolls back to that. It's pretty funny.
It does. It does. I'm sure they're going to go after Olaf also. I mean, they can't resist. They can't resist. Tammy J, Stacey Nat. I mean, all the flippers.
It's okay. Thank you for the 1,000 jewels and the cheers, baby. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. 2012. Thanks for the 2. That money didn't benefit Game. No, that's true. That is true. In place of that, it didn't benefit Gabe at all with him. Well, it benefited him beforehand potentially, but it didn't benefit him after he got arrested. 2012.
Well, the benefit was him getting arrested. I mean, why would you do that before you've got to go to see your PO and then know that you positive, and then unless you're just like, man, I need to get back to my man love.
Man, what's crazy is he could have beat the test. I mean, he had a day to do it. He absolutely, unless you are using for a 1-day use, you can beat the test.
Yeah, but
I mean, for real, you got a small amount or trace amount. What you do is you tell them that I think there's there was an error in it, and you delay when it comes back, and you ask for another test and say 2 days, and that would have been out of your system. You'd have been good to go, even if you'd gotten popped. You could have managed it, but This problem is he's been popped other times too. 2012. Thanks for the 2. The other fraud on court portion. We'll have to have a GoFundMe. It's more like a go fuck me.
Yes, it is.
2012. Thanks for the 2. Settlement that never was, like the bench that never was. Indeed.
But there is a bench. It's just they never got the bench. There's a big hand out there.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We managed to have a bench for sure, but they of course, again, they could have just taken a picture of a bench, But they even refuse to do that, which is amazing. They even refuse to supply just the audacity of these weirdos. JC, okay,
because they never intended to do it. This is the thing, that all of the things that they talk about that they're going to do, they never intend on doing it. We're going to sue Megan Fox. Well, if you're suing Megan Fox, why are you going after her husband? I mean, this makes no sense to me at all. Like, sue Megan Fox. Why are you harassing a private individual?
Well, it definitely doesn't bode well for you in your lawsuit, For you to say, oh, well, this person talks about, whatever X, Y, and Z that come up in there. Well, of course you do, because you attack her husband, you attack her. She has to, she has to keep up with it, because you try to damage everybody. JC, thanks for the 5. Dan, the flea exhibits or exemplifies rather main character syndrome, attention hog with histrionic traits. It's like a truffle pig. She has to put her nose in everywhere. Well, it's true. Well, you know that's where the money comes from, though. Like she can't make money being the side character anymore because she, unfortunately, like they had a good thing going with Lynette.
Oh God,
they
yeah.
did, you know, and they burned it to the ground. Just
Very
amazing.
quickly too. It was so quick.
Yep. So let's see. Sesame Mama, thank you for the 14 months. Hayden, what was that? It's the cheerleader. Yes.
Yeah.
The cheerleader from Save the Cheerleader, Save the World Past of the 16th. Now, Dolly, it always happens. It says at 3. So who's next? Well,
wasn't there some questionable things about what happened there? Because didn't she just come out and talk about being like something really bad happened to her?
So there's a question of she had talked about abuse allegations and she was having substance issues. Her ex was around all the time, and she was with him. It sounded like they had a pretty awful freaking relationship, but on top of it, it sounded like she was stuck in that codependency plus with substance issues. So anyway, there was a talk about now again how we'll see what they find, but there was a discussion about how Narcan was found at the scene, and that with the Narcan, that there was one thing of Narcan found, and there were questions about were there overdoses, like a couple, and was there something that happened that with the abusive ex, whatever you want to partner now and then, his brother, it looked like, was there, the people that quote unquote found her and her. So there's been some crazy questions that have been asked, and what I really hope is that there is real investigation.
I do too.
Into what happened. Yeah. Because her life was
a
mess. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And she was definitely stuck in a cycle of something just awful. I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
So JC, thanks for the 5. I think Shizzy and now understand why LP was saying they needed new blueprints before they could start work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after your permits got sacked, she was talking about they were going to have to rework. Well, they had the old permits. It was under I forget what year that they came up, and they had those. But they also have new codes that pop in. So if your stuff expires and it sets too long, you got to go in. You got to code it by everything that goes on. So.
Well, and even if it's just one slight change that changes, they have to redo the blueprints, like because of load bearing walls, and I mean just any one little change can change the whole how everything is put in there. Like it's I recently had to have a floor lifted, and the company that came out and did it said, now if you come out and you replace the floor in this, you're going to have to have us come back out again, so that way we get proper levels to keep the warranty for this. So I mean, and the inspection on it was really straightforward, but they had to get a building permit just to do that.
Yeah, well, the building, it blows my mind that they had the building permits for so long. It wasn't like they had them and then a couple of weeks later everything expired. They had them for quite a bit of time, and 2L could have totally stepped in there and did something about it, and very quickly.
Well, and according to Lynette, she was asking them, why are you doing the fence whenever we need the house?
Right.
I mean, that was one of the things that she was, that, and, you know, of course,
It
this
makes
is coming
sense, you
from
know?
Lynette. But I mean, they spent, according to the bootlicker and the flea, they spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars shopping. They did so much shopping that the bootlicker, who loves to shop, was sick of shopping. Those are their own words, that they did so much shopping for Christmas.
Yeah, that they threw all the money away instead of getting a domicile. And they actually supposedly threw all the, which again, I don't believe. I think you could do shopping for, well, depending on who you're talking about shopping for and what you're shopping for. You know, there's a few alleyways.
It depends on how much snow you're wanting to have for Christmas.
Exactly. You want to have a really snowy Christmas, kids? You want to see Frosty come to life? Ralph, thanks for the silver star. Jid, thank you for the thumbs up there. 2012, thanks for the 2. Megan in chat. Max Leb said read her Facebook. Got it there. Thank you. Firestarter, thanks for the hiding there. Lily, thanks for the 35 months. Are you talking about what Jeremy was talking about yesterday? Today. We're talking about what was going on today. Yeah, when we're discussing this, so there was a bankruptcy hearing today. And again, it brought up settlement. Like, it was open, so we got to sit in and watch it. You know, we are allowed to observe many things. You know, that's the beautiful thing about our justice system. You can sit in and observe quite a few hearings. So we got to sit in, we got to observe that. And when we did, what a crazy thing. We got actually to find out that there was there's settlement discussions, which means that, again, the only thing you settle there, property. Like he's talking about assets. And the flea is, of course, when you cut away her bullshit, she's still telling you, yep, there's settlement talks, asset negotiations. So.
You know what just occurred to me that I was thinking about? If you're so in the back pocket of Jeremy, how come you didn't know about this before? How come nobody knew about this before? Like that this is what always surprises me. It's like, because you would think that if anybody knew about this, us being, you know, the kind of people that we are, we probably would have said something about it.
Yeah.
Really weird that nobody knew about this except for the people who were supposed to know about this. The whole, what they like to come after us. And,
they say that Jeremy Hale's, you know, he does all of this for the polyflop, and yet these fuckers went out there and dumped it in a cocaine heartbeat. like that one.
That's a good one. That's
Love family. Thank you for the flower. I did. I like that one. Emma, thanks for the 2. It's a good day when it starts with Tuck and Shizzy. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Smoked Cat drops the 100 jewels in the high 5. Heck yeah, baby. That's right. Is that US Lily?
US Lily, yeah.
I got it there. Thank you. Welcome. I was looking at that avatar. Thank you for the membership. And welcome, Tug Stugs. What an avatar, I like it. Lily, thanks for the 5. Does that mean that Jeremy said the other night is not happening? Or is it something different? Well, so yeah, again, there was a bankruptcy hearing. They're talking about assets, you know, because she owes him money, but she's filing bankruptcy too. So she wants to walk away with money as well. So Jeremy, it looks like, is again, we don't know details. We're just going by what we heard in the bankruptcy hearing. But they talked about
what Jeremy was talking about the other night. And the only reason I know this is because of his stream today.
Yeah.
His video today, at the very end of the video, he says they think it's about the settlement. It's not. It's not about the property. So whatever it is, he hasn't dropped it yet.
Well, it should be fun.
Oh.
I've got a few guesses, but I don't want to say them publicly because
I have a couple.
not yet. Not
guesses
yet.
also.
I think we
No.
should have a guessing game off of it later on. You
Should,
know,
yeah.
we should make a game out of it later, but not yet. Stacy, thank you for the sunshine and the 200 joules there, baby. Thank you. C Mac and Cheese, thank you for the silver star. Now, this wouldn't have had anything to do with it anyway, because he said it has something to do with them working together. The way I took it, it was something that, you know, is directly going after 2L and them. So
Yeah, that's the impression I got also. I didn't get the whole settlement. I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. I mean, that my ears perked up. I was like, settlement,
right. Well,
this is interesting.
I wasn't surprised by there being talks, to be honest, because Lynette, she's hemmed up into bankruptcy. There's nowhere else to go, man. You know, and again, she should thank all of the people that put her here. They gave her all the advice. Again, they put her into bankruptcy. She didn't have to go this route.
You know,
there were other routes to go. I could have told them other routes to go. You know,
that's why John Cook was so happy. I mean, John Cook was thanking Deuce for that, saying thank you for the bankruptcy idea. I mean, because it really screws Lynette up, and it has no effect on him whatsoever.
No, he'll actually get a few dollar dues to walk away.
Hey, maybe he'll get some more morsels to add to his stash.
I wonder, is that an asset?
Might be an asset.
Well, he ended up with some morsels to take. It's like, oh no.
Better be careful. Don't keep Gabe over there. Maybe that's why they only have morsels left.
I'll promise you, if he ends up with that property, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down there for a fucking week before they take that place apart. And I am going to film everything. I'm going to do such in-depth filming. I'm going to film, like I said, for a solid week down there. And I'm going to come back and we'll make a month series out of the damn place. I'll go through every freaking building that's left, anything that has any of their assets. And we could actually talk about the true condition of this place.
Oh, brother, you know, we could totally carpool that. We could totally carpool that too, because
I would. I for real. I would.
I'm on your way, and so if you need a stop off place, I got the house. I got the room.
I would go. I'd stay down there for a week. Hell, I can stay down there as long as I want to. You know, because I mean, I can. I'm sure that I could. I'm sure I could take the kids if I needed to. And, you know, I'm sure Jeremy would not mind going and checking the place out. Well, I mean, I would want to check it out in depth. I would want to go through everything there. I'm not talking about just a surface level, like, you know, 30-minute or an hour video. I mean, I'd like to go through, look at that fence, everything about it, but crawl that property, you know, do everything. So.
Oh yeah, I'll bring some nice tools down there with me to measure different things.
Yeah, you can measure those fence posts, see how much poop's in them. You know, in the holes. I heard about fence post poop. I don't. Oh my God, if he ends up with all that stuff, God, it could be so much fun. I have so many ideas for things. I have some ideas, but again, you know, somebody may have collapsed it all. So he's saying that she did. So I mean, again, who knows what will happen? But I know that they complain about Jeremy, you know, essentially being obstinate. You know, they're like, oh, you know, when he wants to do something, he does it. And the same thing, vice versa. If he doesn't want to do it, again, they have to depend on the kindness of You know, yeah,
They really do.
yep. Because, like,
Jer-
yeah, I mean, somebody else, they buy it. My God. Here's also the thing. So, 2L said she'd buy it and give it back to these people, right? Okay, well, even if she did that, look at the way she treated the fence. You know, like they owed her forever.
Oh yeah. That basically that's there you go. She would own her forever right then and there.
Yep. Yep.
And she would and as soon as all of the court cases are over, she would throw her right off that property and probably move her happy ass right there because, well, you know, she's got to be close to her Jeremy.
Well, if she owned the property, then she'd 100%. I mean, she's a renter now, but she could take that place over and start working on the old barn dough and shit. Have her own place, yeah. And she could try to turn Jeremy Hales into content forever.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what she tried to do with her neighbor.
Yeah,
already. What, say she would do it again? Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, when she I don't know if she actually followed through on the I haven't looked at what the thumbnail was for today. I saw the prior one where it was supposed to be the creeper returns. I don't know if that changed, but you know, she was going after the neighbor, you know, again. So let's see. Roy. Hey Roy, how's it going, man? Thanks for the 22 months there. Hospice nurse just gave my wife her meds. So she's sleeping. She realized today what is happening. I'll be with her till the end, dude. Love to you, brother. I know it's my grandmother. We sat with her, and you know, she was a shadow. Like she was obviously she's still who she was, but unless she didn't know it was there. I remember sitting with her and my stepfather. When he was in a bad way. My love's with you, man. You know, for real. You're the love. My prayers, and I hope we put on a show that entertains you every day, brother. You know, so you can come out, you can laugh a little bit, watch stupid, and you can have something like at least a minute of some mental reprieve, brother. But love you, my friend.
Yes.
2012. Thanks for the 2. Since you don't read the chat, Megan says screen grab. Well, got it now. Yeah, I do. I absolutely don't. I do this weird thing. It's called a show. I read every now and then, but usually, like if I'm talking and stuff, today I was looking at my notes for the hearing because there was a lot that went on, but everything doubled back to that just, I don't know, 3 to 6 sentences about settlement, and that was the most amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Rye, thanks for the 42 months. Thank you, Rhea Rye. How insecure is lips? She has to track Megan's looks and filter. Yeah, Max out of her own face. Exactly. I mean, she really is a pathetic woman. Jesus, sad and totally pathetic. Yes, they have to filter shift not just Megan Fox, but themselves. That's funny. Like that cracks me up. You know, that's some self-loathing right there.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
great.
You know, I'm sure that Lips probably had something attractive about her at some point in time, but it hasn't been there forever.
Well, there's rumors there's a person under all those filters. You know, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's hard to tell. It could be a man, could be a woman. Don't know.
It's a whole lot of crazy is what it is, no matter what. Greg, thank you for the silver star. Thank you. Astrid, thank you for the flower. Thank you, Astrid. Deborah, thank you for the gold coin. Thanks for that. 2012, thanks for the 2. Let the salt flow. That's right. Trish, thank you for the floating heart. And thank you for the hiding. Hey, thank you for the 2 hidings. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. The cat's cute, by the way. The cucking font. Thank you for the 2. Dahmer needs a second freezer for our bellies tug. Yeah, that's what I offer him. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I've been covering the Dahmer trial, and I got to where they've got their specialists, their doctors, and I told Mo, I was like, Mo, I'm sorry, I am not going to sit through 2 weeks of this guy talking. I said, I'm skipping all of this. We're going to go straight to the closing statements, and we're only going to listen to the main portion of it, and then hit the end of it. And so tomorrow we should be finished with, the sentencing and all that. So yeah, Dahmer, crazy man, crazy
Did you
stuff.
read his father's book?
No, I haven't.
That's actually really good. I went into it and, I thought it would just be some self-indulgent bullshit. But I actually walked away feeling bad for his dad, to be honest. And I never thought that was possible, But you could see that, like, all of that stuff, it tortured him because he could see where, and he didn't try to place, deflect blame or anything like that.
No.
He was just trying to, to have a conversation. Like, how do you have that conversation? When like, your son he'll live in infamy. He will outlive you in infamy. So that, it's an amazing book. There's PDFs of it and stuff. You should check it out.
I definitely will. I didn't realize that he had written a book. I will most definitely check that out.
I can't remember. Let's see. Dahmer's father's book. I got a copy of it. When it came out, I actually picked it up. It's called A Father's Story. And I don't know. Like I said, it gives you insight into what he was like, but it also gives you some insight into the family dynamic. Did you ever see the comic, the My Friend Dahmer?
Yes.
I thought that was interesting because you have somebody that knew him as a high schooler. And, they made that little movie about it, but the book itself, it actually goes through and it talks about, everything like they did and experienced, the trolling and the weirdness. Also, the dive into alcoholism, and really a couple of his friends got lucky to walk away, alive, to be able to walk away, period, it sounded like.
Yeah.
See, Chris, thanks you for the membership. Thank you, welcome. Thank you for the membership, and welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you, Christy. Much appreciated, and welcome. It says, thanks for the fine there. It's my heavenly mother's birthday. Heck yeah, man.
Oh,
You know
yes.
what? Your mother, when she passed there, you know what? It's still her birthday, dude. You look, if it's what you do with a milestone, my friend. When I looked at that, I thought you meant your mother's, like it's her birthday there, but still your mother's birthday. Like, this is something that took me a minute to figure out. All right.
Yeah.
You get to where the milestone you remember is the passing. And that's not the milestone we need to remember. We need to remember the milestones that truly celebrated our family members. And like my stepfather that passed, I celebrate his birthday, and I celebrate it. I pull out some pictures and stuff that I enjoy with with him, those moments. And at first they were really, it hurt. It still sometimes hurts there.
Yes.
But man, after a while you start cracking that smile and everything. But hey, love to you, my friend.
Every year, me and my wife, because we both lost our brothers the same way, we celebrate their birthdays, and we remember all of the good times that we had, not the bad part. The things that brings the sadness.
Yeah.
The smile, the vacations, all of the things that we enjoyed about that person. So and it's just absolutely one of the most the best feelings that both her and I are able to enjoy together in that.
When in death, you start trying to learn how to celebrate life, and that's
yes.
But hey, love to you, my friend. It's hard there, but it's also, it can be good. It can be cathartic. But I realized too, the first birthday and everything rolling around, that's difficult, man. But if you take that and you start looking at how to, again, not remember the past and that date, like, again, it's almost, it becomes etched in our psyche, that they're gone. And
yes,
and we need to start celebrating those things that matter. But love to you, my friend. Stats, thanks for the treat there. Thank you, Stats. And dropped a floating heart and also some happy poop along the way. Thank you, Stats. Hey, there's a marshmallow high too. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, 2012. Thanks for the two. I heard Deuce fall. I can't practice in Florida. Yeah. Yeah, I hear Deuce has some problems with Florida. Kidding. Thank you for the silver star. Stats, also, thank you for the treat. Thank you, Stats. I thank you, Kitten, too. 2012, thanks for the two. Trusty wants 40% of 56K raised for elemental pay. I see that's one thing I would think they would want a slice of. They'd want a big slice of that goodness.
They haven't got to that point yet.
Yep. No. But they would want it. That is an asset. Travis, thanks for the 10 there. I think I'm probation success story. I also think if I didn't get probation as your channel to watch, I don't think I would have made it. Love the channel and believe saved my life from going haywire. Yeah, actually, Travis is a great story because Travis is, you got to find something. First of all, you have to want to change for you. You don't change for other people because you fail after a while. You have to change for you. And you just got to the point where you were like, man, I'm tired of living this way. It's been great because I've gotten to watch you through all like this. You get to know people, what they talk about. You got a wild story, dude. And I'm proud of you. I am very proud of you, brother. Travis, thanks for the 5 there too. Dad's aneurysm surgery on Thursday. Love prayers. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Everybody for sure. Prayers for your father. He's in his 70s. I'm scared. Don't want to run the ranch and all that right now. Not there yet. Understandable, brother. Understandable. Well, there's no way not to be worried about it. But remember, like, he's got to have that anyway. So he's at the best possible place for it. So you go with that, and we will definitely have your thoughts, prayers. Love you, brother. For sure. Stacy Nat. What's up, Stacy Nat? Thank you for the 650 jewels in the envelope. I bet you're on the hate frenzy tonight, too. I bet you, that's got to be part of it. Boy, it's funny. Stacy Nat just going and doing her own thing and loving life pisses these people off to no end.
I know. That's what the beauty part of it is.
Lisa, thank you for the floating heart. Team at Pop, thank you for the 6-7, baby. Thank you. LP, thank you for the happy boobs. Thank you. 2012, thanks for the 5. Hey, Shizzy, do you think that Fleece wanted Gabe to do the work? He had a history of working without permits until I got mad at wanting to get permits.
Yes, I do.
I do too.
I mean, that whenever everything that I look at, I mean, especially, digging back into what got him there in the first place. It wasn't the booger sugar that got him there in the first place. He was doing, well, claiming to do the work, but never completing it.
Let's say substandard work. Yeah. Because you don't finish anything. So you do a half-ass job, or half job.
Yes.
And then ass around. That is a better way.
Or you say that you're doing something and then turns out that you're not actually doing what you said. And, and the problem is they at one point in time planned on going on there from their own words and doing work on that property without the permits.
Yeah.
And that right there.
Wild, isn't it?
that would have definitely got them in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, it's wild that they were going to do that. Yeah, it is. It's wild. It's 2012. Thanks for the tip. Deal is off. Is Germany not getting Fleesa? Well, I would think Germany wouldn't be the one getting Fleesa. I would think if anybody wants to recover assets, that would be Lynette. You know, I mean, honestly,
it's her assets, not Jeremy's.
Yeah. So, you know, Lynette, this is your one chance to do something about that too. If you pass on this, then you fucked up. I mean, you did. Like that's big time. Hey, what's up, Travis? There, thanks for the 20 there. One money gambling on sports. Here's for luck and bug for whatever they want, brother. Maybe some ice cream. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And you know what? I'm proud to hear you won. Just remember moderation, brother. Moderation. Never trade one vice for other vices. So if you do it in moderation, you seem to do well with it. Just like I said, always be there. And thank you, man. I do appreciate you, brother. Venom. What's up, Venom? Thanks for the value of the tortoises. This house in blood wasn't funny. I did wonder if the tortoises came with the assets. If did they? What are they going to do with them if they leave? If there are any tortoises actually left, what are they going to do with them?
Well, they sort of make their own bowls, you know.
I did wonder for real. Like, okay, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that she really does have tortoises left, like she's saying, right? Well, if she ends up with all of her assets gone, what happens to them?
Well, those would probably go to the 501c3.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm saying physically, what happens to them?
That's right. They actually have to have a 501c3 for them to go there.
Well, they have to have cages. They have to have a place to put them. Like what are they going to do with it? Because they've supposedly been building all this stuff up. I mean, we did see at least them building some pens and things. I mean, we were talking about some hefty fucking animals. Like these aren't small.
I mean,
time.
Most likely they would get shipped off to zoos. I mean, or to an actual rescue, a reputable rescue.
Well, that's the question. I mean, is she going to try to argue that those aren't her assets? They're the 501c3s, so therefore she's going to leave with them. And if she does, again, where's she going to put them in the temporary?
Well, and I mean, Well, think about this. What did they do with the tigers from Tiger King?
Well, what did the Tiger King do with them? Well, some of them he put in the ground, but
no, I mean the ones that were still left.
Are you talking about after his arrest?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but see, what my question is not really there. I'm saying, first of all, is she going to try to maintain ownership of them with the 501c3 or anything else? And if she moves them, she can't put them in a storage unit or something. She's got to physically move them and take them somewhere. I'm sure Jeremy's not going to be like, yeah, let's house this shit up. He's going to be like, you have X amount of days to get the fuck off this property if he ends up with it.
Yeah.
So, and if she does that, she talks about the burden it is to feed them and to do all this other stuff with them. So, yeah, I mean, with that, there's plenty of places they could send them and stuff, but is that what they plan? I mean, have they thought about that?
Well, I mean, and Venom started asking my question. She says they were rehomed to Oklahoma. So that makes sense. So, I mean, more than likely that would be what would have to happen with that. They would hopefully, in her case, that she would reach out to other sanctuaries that are available and try to get them rehomed.
Well, I'm sure that Jeremy could figure out something with that if he needed to, but I'm just, I wondered if they would try to end that grift. Doesn't work very well. The rescue grift. No. They don't make money with the rescue grift. You know, they've made money because it's part of this overall catastrophe that they've had, but the rescue itself has not been a successful grift for them.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Hey, what's up, Huggy Bee? Thank you for the happy poops. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. 2012. Thanks for the two. Watched Jeremy's stream today. He said Fleesa. Oh,
Yeah.
at the end. Yeah. And Travis, thanks for I'm drinking more, but still doing my gambling, make money that way. Keeps me sane because I pay attention to games, every shit going on in life. You know, brother. Yeah. You know, anything. Again, I used to do like a little bit of sports book, like through work, you know, back in the factory days, especially, there would be, you know, bet on X amount of teams and, you know, do this or that. And that was fun. You know, it was under control. I would win every now and then. And if I won one time in the whole season, well, shit, I made 4 or 5 years worth of, you know, what I was dropping for each week, like $5. So it wasn't a problem at all, you know, but
Right.
the one thing the one thing I'm always cautious about is once a person has addiction issues, you know, any of us that have that, you always have to be very careful, man.
Oh yeah. It's a constant check going, you know, is this, am I doing more than, am I writing checks my ass can't cash is
Right.
basically the way I look at it. You know, and I've always had to check myself on that. Just, you know.
Well, I say that stuff too, because appreciate you, Travis, man. You know, love to you, and appreciate, you know, you too. And I think from where we met, you know, when you had first gotten with probation and everything, you were at a certain point in life where you were like, dude, you know, I'm done with this. And, you know, you did a damn good job. You took things and reshaped your life. And I mean, I've gotten to watch it, and that's kind of awesome. But anyway, we're ended. We're done.
Yeah.
So I will see you folks later.